me, Lord. That's what I kept on singing not too long ago. It seems like I was living in the darkest hole. My sadness and my anger started to take control. I had a lot of stuff weighing on me, no. I shed a lot of tears that you didn't see, no. But I couldn't let it break on me, 'cause I got a little one depending on me. It can't rain forever. The sun's gotta shine again. I remember that saying, so I kept praying, and you should do the same, my friend. I stay prayed up, that gets me by. That's how I made it through my darkest time. If I'm a sinner, and that's no lie, thank God my prayers are heard, 'cause He knows I tried. I stay prayed up, yes, I stay prayed up. See, the only way I made it through my pain is through God's favor.
Thank you, Kandi.
Why me alone? How am I supposed to raise these kids alone? I do the best I can to keep a happy home. It's hard to do it now, my better half is gone. God is looking at me, judging every move that I make. I'm just trying to do the best that I can, but it's hard 'cause I'm just an ordinary man. It can't rain forever.
No.
The sun's gonna shine again.
Gotta shine.
I remember the ocean, so I just keep on praying, and you should do the same, my friend. I stay prayed up, that gets me by. That's how I made it through my darkest time. I'm a sinner, and there's no love, my friend. My prayers are heard, 'cause He knows I tried.
He knows I tried.
Stay prayed up, yes, I stay prayed up. See, the only way I made it through.
I made it through. Oh, God's favor. I stay prayed up. People wonder how I do it.
The only way I made it through.
I made it through. Through God's favor. Oh, yeah. That's how I made it through. This time, because He knows I tried. I stay prayed up. You better be prayed up. Yes, you do. Because of God's favor.
Baby, don't Kandi voice sound good when she put that goddamn that Snapchat filter on it, girl? Does she sound good, bitch? When she put that motherfucking Instagram filter on them goddamn focus, girl. Yeah, you better sing, bitch. You better sing that filter right into salvation, baby, okay? We got to get into it, you guys. So this is an improv live stream. I was not expecting to go live, but I had to mess around and luckily had caught Kandi's speak on it, girl. She done spoke on it, bitch, okay? So we got to get into some things. And I actually am being joined by a very special guest, okay? He is a musical artist, Atlanta-based, so I'm excited to get his thoughts on everything that has been transpiring, okay, with this girl group, okay? So Kandi cleared it tonight, baby. She had brought her old ninja on the screen, baby. Okay, and they got into some things together. So before we get thick off into this thing, you guys know what I need y'all to do. Go ahead and thumbs up this video until it is absolutely struck. Okay? You guys know that thumbing up not only helps with the YouTube algorithm, but more importantly, it triggers up the notification system so that YouTube can go ahead and send out notifications to all of the unsuspecting conscious crew members who have no idea that we are live and in color, because these YouTube CEO whores only send out notifications to less than 10% of your subscriber count, okay? But when you get the thumbing up, you alert the kingdom, girl, that we are live and in color. Also, make sure that you have your notification bell set to all, because you never know what day or hour the king shall be king. And sometimes I don't have time to let y'all know when a download is coming, bitch. Okay? So I mess around and get these in the moment inspirations, girl. Okay? And if you don't want to miss a goddamn thing, you need to be making sure that your notification bell is set to all. Also, please make sure that you are subscribing. We are celebrating 43K subscribers and counting, girl. We like less than 10 subbies away from 43.1 all the way on to 50K, then 100K, girl. We're working, okay? Where is your motherfucking scooter, okay? Also, last but not least, please share this stream out, because that's the old-fashioned way of getting the word out, honey. Tell a friend of a friend of a friend. Slap the link on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, dark Twitter, Tumblr, your personal OF. I don't give a damn where you place the link, baby. Just let them whores know the real loud, live, and in color. With no further ado, let's go ahead and push on through.
I know a place where you can recharge your soul.
Baby, that's Conscious TV.
And in the midst of brokenness, he gon' see your asshole.
Baby, that's Conscious TV.
You gon' heal, you gon' laugh and catch a little shade.
Ooh, girl.
Y'all know he be slaying, y'all better stop playing. Come hear what he's saying.
Ladies and gentlemen.
What's going on, y'all? Okay, so hold on. Let me go ahead and get this out of the way before we get started, get into the thick of it, girl. Okay, hold on. Let me go ahead and shout out my contributors. In case, girl, let me shout out to my Dr. J, girl. All my PayPalers, thank you so much for your donations. I definitely have received your PayPal donations. Okay, I always have to check my PayPal manually, unlike my Cash App. My Cash App, you know, the notifications go straight to your phone. So I want to shout out T. I want to shout out my boo Classy Queen, my baby mother FB, Keena, Jean, Ebony, my boo Reggie, who is this? Miss Moda, So Debonair, Crystal, Anthony, how doing? Tyrus. I didn't know you had. Oh, I see what you did there. Shout out to Tyrus. Okay, Anthony, Crystal, and my boo Jalen. Okay, for her old nasty piece of donation, girl. So those were the donations over the past 2-3 days. I wanted to make sure that you guys got y'all shout out. Thank you so much, Faith Speaks. Thank you. I am scooting with you, bitch. Period. Thank you to the Conscious crew members. I love y'all. Y'all are fucking amazing. Okay, y'all know the all email information, Patreon information, Cash App donation, all that stuff is in the ticker, and my moderators are rotating those links accordingly. Okay, it's gonna be some very amazing changes coming to the platform very soon. I've been getting a lot of shit in order, getting a lot of things situated. So you guys will be seeing some new content, some new segments. It's going to be a lot going on, girl. There's going to be some things introduced to Patreon. I'm getting everything situated, working my mother earth off, okay? So tonight, you guys know that the Xscape and SWV show has been happening. There's been a lot going on, a lot of drama, a lot of in-house drama, a lot of personal drama has been coming up, girl. A lot of salacious allegations have been made, girl. You guys know that. Tamar Scott recently accused her sister, Latocha Scott, and her husband, Rocky Bivens, of misappropriating $30,000 plus in royalty money from her by forging her signature on passport, signing checks. Allegedly, that check was deposited directly into Rocky's account, okay? Both Rocky and Latocha Scott have denied those claims and allegations. Then there was a big blow up between Tamika Scott and her mother, who she felt like always took up and stood beside. Her sister Latocha always making excuses for her bullshit, but apparently her mother had some type of knowledge about this 30K as well, because she provided the convenient excuse that maybe Latocha really needed the money at the time, okay? As a result of all of this kind of in-house family drama coming up, girl, the daddy's name got drugged into this. Latocha and Tamika's mom, you know, she acted as if she was a single mom who raised her children alone. This prompted the daddy, Randolph Scott, to come forward, okay? He also interviewed on a YouTube platform that I gave credit to in my last video, and he gave his side of the story, girl. It's a hot mess. He hasn't seen Latocha since his 69th birthday. He's been blocked as well. So, you know, Kandi and Tiny and all of them, even Tamika says they don't have Latocha's new number. I think Tiny Harris just got the number. So there's been a lot going on, girl. You guys also know that Latocha did a response video to Kandi Speak on it, and Latocha poked fun at Kandi's vocals, and she kind of, you know, made claims that Kandi always had problems with Latocha singing lead and blah, 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 girl. It's just been a lot. You also know that Unhinged with Budweiser K interviewed Tiawanda, okay, the alleged mistress, one of many whores, apparently, that Rocky Bivens has. It's a mess, okay? Well, Kandi spoke on a lot of it. She addressed her Tamar Braxton situation and drama, and she responded to Latocha's response video to her. But before we get into that, I want to introduce my guest, who is he's one of my favorite new musical artists, as well as a friend, and he's one of my favorite web reality series stars, okay, from one of my favorite web series, G-Status, okay? If you guys have not checked out that reality show, the first season obviously was the most iconic season of them all, and it was starring no other than Corday Lee. What's going on, Corday?
Hey, how are you?
I am awesome. How the fuck are you?
I'm awesome. I'm well. We're doing it, you know.
We're doing it, okay? I don't think you've been on the platform as a guest since our last interview regarding your transition from G-Status. You have gotten further into music, produced some epic fucking visuals and sounds for us. I am very, very, very proud of you. You are also Atlanta-based, so I felt like this would be a great discussion to get you in on regarding music and group dynamics, with you being a part of a reality show, etc., and you being in the business as well. I'm very, very excited to get your thoughts on this. But before we do so, do you want to tell the people a little bit of what you got going on, where they can find you, etc.?
Yeah, hold on. Let me see if I can get this camera up for you. What, are you on the camera?
No, I'm cam down. This is all audio. I mean, but if you want to cam up, you can. You know, you're more than welcome.
No, I'm so hurt that I don't get to see you. Wow.
We can't even see you.
This is new for us.
There it is. The Kang, honey. Look, I totally pulled up on Corday's live, interrupted the shit out of his vibe. He was just drinking wine, listening to good music, playing with his dog, and I just completely snatched his ass up and dragged him here, okay? So tell the folk what you got going on, Corday. Tell them where they can find you at, where they can find your music, all of that good jazz.
Okay, cool. So I go by Corday Lee now. So yeah, I go by Corday Lee now. I just released 2 new songs. I've been doing music for a while, so I'm just now releasing some new music. We on a high right now. Like, it's just, everything is up. So the music's out there. Just type in Corday Lee in any of your streaming platforms. You'll get both singles. First single is Summer Fantasy, written and produced by Travis Malloy, who has some Grammy nominations, maybe even awards, I'm not sure. Exactly, and also some ASCAP awards. So he did his big one on that one. It's a really great track, and the video is out as well. That I was the visual production, um, the visual producer of, costume designer. I did everything for both videos. That's out as well as my second single, that I wrote, Rebirth, which I was the concept creator for that as well. So it's all out there.
Cordy,
Rebirth is on Devo and on my page. So yeah.
I had no idea that your old co-star was featured in Summer Fantasy.
Yeah. Zafar is all up and through Summer
That is
Fantasy.
major.
He was my first pick to model for that. When I at the time I saw him.
Okay, so I should feel shaded then because I don't recall getting an invite. I don't recall being booked. Okay, as a bad bitch to be in epic ass visuals. The king of aesthetics didn't even get an invite.
I'm gonna keep it honest. Like, I just tried to keep everybody in the city. Like if you lived in the city, because putting on a production is a very intricate thing. So you just
It
want
ain't
to make
no
sure
excuse
that
not to bring all this identity to the camera. It is no excuse. In the city, out of the city.
No, really. You just want to make sure you got like access to people, and that's what it's really about, like access. So if you long distance,
okay, so you don't got access to me all of a sudden now.
Yeah, no, we when it's long distance, we try to stay away from that.
It ain't that damn long of a damn distance. I ain't that far out from Atlanta. I'm right next to Georgia.
Yeah.
Miss Georgia. Well, I want to show the people some of these visuals because they were epic, and I want to let them hear a little something before we move on. So I'm gonna share my screen. This is Corday's Instagram page, you guys. Please go over and support him. Follow his page. His links are in the bio, etc. As he said, Corday Lee on Instagram. But check out a little bit of this tone, baby. Okay, this is Summer Fantasy.
Whatever you imagine, whatever you think, oh, I can make it happen. I need you to be yourself. Let your head down. I don't want nobody else. Nobody else around. Free your mind. Never run out of time. Can I show you my world?
Y'all, get into it, baby. Get in motherfucking to it, okay? That is Summer Fantasy. The visuals are out now. Please follow Corday Lee over on the Instagram, baby, and get into all of the things. You can also visit www.cordaylee.com. Okay, now Corday, my people done said, bitch, you're gonna have to do better, honey. You're gonna have to start sending the invites to the king, baby, or we gonna be tearing down all your shit, honey. It ain't gonna be that left will be done, okay? So and you're on mute too, boo. Okay, so I got a question for you. You are Atlanta based. Are you a particular fan of Xscape, SWV, or Kandi Burruss? And have you seen any of these individuals in the city? You're still on mute. Hold on. Oh, you gotta unmute yourself.
There we go.
There you go. All right.
My bad.
Are you a fan of Xscape?
I'm a fan of Xscape and SWV. Yeah, I'm a fan of Xscape and SWV 100%.
Okay. All right. Are you a fan of Kandi? Kandi gets a lot of. She gets a lot of criticism regarding her singing voice. I personally think Kandi Burruss can sing down to the goddamn ground. I think she has an amazing studio voice. I even love the way her live voice sounds. What do you think about Kandi's vocality?
I feel like everybody has a tone. I think it's all about song choice. I think it's all about song choice, arrangement, and that kind of thing. I don't think it's necessarily. I like her tone. I like her voice. I just think the arrangement sometimes don't do the best for her.
Okay,
and I think
put a pin in it right there.
Part.
It's a little bit of cracking in your mic. It's like some feedback in your microphone.
No.
Yes, he crackling like a mother lover. Is it
Is
just me,
it?
y'all? Or is he crackling to y'all? Because if he's not crackling to y'all, then
It could be the rain.
yeah, because it's storming on my end too, and it's fucking up my signal and everything.
Yeah, it could be. I can't stop the rain. I can't stop the rain.
You got some headpieces? You got some earpieces? Okay, he gonna try to figure out what's going on. Okay, so you guys are saying Kandi can blow. Leah says, I definitely like her pen. She is a great writer. You know, she's known for Bills, No Scrub, baby. Okay, her shit be in the top 5 Billboard all the time. Okay, let me see here. Caramel says, people just like to hate on Kandi. That's very true. Mika says, Kandi can blow. Faith says Kandi is not a soloist. Okay. Yeah, he gonna try to get the audio situated, you guys. It is storming really bad where we all are, okay? Because it's been thundering and flooding like Noah is on the ship, girl, through the highways. Okay.
I closed my patio door. Y'all ruining my moment.
Okay, well, you ruined the audio because it's crackling.
Everybody should love the rain sound.
Yes, but we don't love the crackling feedback.
Okay.
So we gotta fix it because it's going to sound crazy going forward. Can you try to leave out and come back in? Just hit that link out.
You can still hear it?
Yeah, it's still crackling, but you might just have to reconnect. So just try to leave out and then hit that link and come back in here.
All right.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay, so Corday's gonna come back in here. Let me see what you guys are saying. Yes, he's crackling. It's storming like crazy. I love Kandi's vocals. I do too. Yes, Kandi can sing, and everyone is trying to get famous off her name. Jesse says, "Yeah, she got it. She hot right now." But you know, Xscape are having a whole second rebirth right now as a result of this SWV Xscape show. Drama that's going on. And I'm really happy for the girls. I really hate that they had to kind of they get to have a restart under these circumstances because it's really bad and it's really ugly and it's kind of all really falling apart. But their music gets to be reintroduced to a new generation who is very reality TV fixated. And they get to stay booked and motherfucking busy. And, we love employed Black people out there making their money, specifically Black women able to, get to the motherfucking bag, baby, okay? And continue to create them up empires, baby. So I'm really happy about a lot of the positives that come out of it. But by God, did the second rebirth come at a freaking price, okay? It's come at one hell of a price. Celeste says, good is what you like, and everything ain't for everybody, okay? Tootie says, I am not a Kandi fan, but she's right on this topic. Yes, we're going to speak on it ourselves tonight. I'm going to be dropping a link. You guys come up as well to chime in, because I think Kandi helped us to clarify some things regarding our last discussion regarding the drama. Okay, T says, I like Kandi for personality, but not that voice, honey. My God, today. Miss Kiki says, yes, that storm is lightning up the sky. Yes, it is. I wonder if it's a man-made storm, girl. You know, the Illuminati and Apple be controlling the goddamn weather and shit, girl. But that's another story for another day. Roxy says, hell nah, CT. Oh, hey, nah, CTV. Hey, boo, what's going on? Andrew says, I think much of the opinions of Kandi over the years were tainted by the belief that she was the problem with Xscape. Now that we've seen she wasn't, I think the opinions of her voice will come around. Okay. D says the sisters have the voices. Green says if Tamar is such a better singer than Kandi, then why isn't anyone checking for her in that way? It's always drama that keeps Tamar relevant. Okay, so speaking of that, we'll just catch Corday up when he gets back in here. It's raining in Atlanta. Okay, there he is. Let me see. All right. Let me see. Okay, speak on it, Corday. Let me see how you sound.
I'm here.
You sound perfect. Okay, welcome back. You sound great. Okay, so have you ran into Kandi at all? Do you have any relationship to her in the industry? Have you guys made contact? Because Atlanta's very small, and the circles are very small, and so yeah, have you had any proximity to Miss Kandi Burruss? Or the Candy Coated Factory?
No. I know associates of hers, and that kind of thing. But do I know her? No. I've met Tiny. The Tiny a lot. Who else?
Okay, so speaking of Tiny, okay, because we got to get a little messy. Did you ever believe that she was guilty of the things that a lot of those accusers came forward and said about her and her husband?
I don't know them to know that. Yeah, no, I don't get into that.
Did you ever hear about those things?
No.
You didn't hear that out,
not until it was out the media.
Okay. See, Corday trying to keep the motherfucking bag clear, baby. Okay, he ain't trying to have no bitch be able to go on record, honey, and keep him from a goddamn contract. What do you make of the Candy Coated Factory? Is it still in production? Because I heard that that's her own personal studio where she signs artists under. Do you have any knowledge of that in Atlanta?
No, I don't know anything about the Candy Coated Factory.
Okay.
I guess what I will say is being a label owner, entertainment company owner, for what she does, does she really need to have artists or anything like that right now? Probably not. She has a lot of productions out, so it wouldn't make sense for her to sign artists that she can't really,
nurture and build.
Yeah, really work with and build. You got to understand, when you starting out any business, you got to really be in your business, 110% in order for you to get to a point where you don't have to be in the business. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Before you can be an owner and just never go to work, you gotta, you gotta make sure your profit margin is there. And I feel like the Candy Factory is not brand new, but I think it's fairly new. But it's clear that she feeds off of what the production, the monetized production, what really makes her instant money. So that could be smart. And more recently, she's done a lot of Broadway production. So I think as a label, that's a great thing. Because if she hadn't done that, I would have kind of been like, okay, so why are you just calling yourself a label? Just to say you got a label. But when you start doing things like Broadway, I think that's very intelligent too.
And she probably can hire, I'm just going to assume that when it comes to owning a label, she could probably hire a lot of writers. There's so much money in being able to have a label and a production company and finding so much talent. She can hire engineers that can produce and edit and refine music for major artists. I mean, you know, Kandi is all about getting to that bag. That bitch got studios, husbands, restaurants, even if they are getting marked with D's by the FDA, she got them none the damn less. Even if the chicken tastes a little like rubber, nonetheless, she got the restaurant shy. Okay. You know, she's reality TV queen, you know, the old Lady Gang reality show. I mean, she seems to do good at juggling a lot of things at once. Now, speaking of juggling, okay, and I'm gonna get Corday's commentary on this too, because I don't think he's been keeping up with the drama, and I'm gonna be dropping the link for y'all as well, okay? Kandi did an episode of Speak on It tonight, and baby, she spoke on it. So I want to get into some keynotes about what she spoke to her girl, and then just let y'all sound off on the things, okay? Kandi said, okay, in responding to Latocha Scott, okay, who kind of dragged her vocals, etc., you know, called her to the carpet about being jealous and having an old nasty piece of inferiority complex, okay, when it comes to, you know, her basically being the Beyonce really of the group. Well, Kandi said that she don't know why Latocha is trying to poke fun at her vocals when the audience is dragging her for them tired-ass 1993 R&B runs that she's still singing to this day. And she said she definitely don't understand the logic behind it, because those same vocals that Kandi got is 90% is on 90% of the hits leading that are Latocha's claim to fame and Xscape to this day. Baby. Kandi was dragging Corday. Kandi was motherfucking dragging tonight, baby.
Well, see, the thing about Kandi is, and I hadn't even seen it. I hadn't seen the episode or like any of the bloggy stuff yet. The thing about Kandi is Kandi will drag you though, because it, like myself, it's easy to drag somebody when you got so many black and white facts. It's easy to drag you. Like, that's just it. Like, it's black and it's white. Latocha will only ever will be able to speak from a matter of opinion. Like,
and that's why it was so epic, because when it's fact-based, Corday, there's no way for a motherfucker to get around.
You can't come.
Like, the facts they create a brick wall against a motherfucker's insults.
Yeah, there's no comeback.
It's epic. Okay, so that's what she said about that. Continue to listen to this. Kandi's so Kandi also said that her voice, that Latocha is low-key shading and dragging, also landed her on the #1 spot on Billboard for her gospel hit Stay Prayed Up, a spot that Latocha currently can only fast for 40 days and 40 nights in hopes of having a similar success to in her coming gospel career. My God, today, once again, no, Karina, are you motherfucking awake, baby? Okay, because clearly she was a drug so bad that you got up in here at 12:30 at night because Kandi was dragging Latocha for the facts of...
Wait, hold on. Where did this happen?
This happened on Kandi's YouTube channel. She has a YouTube channel called Speak on It. And, you know...
When did she did this episode when?
She did this tonight. Like, it was like... Wow. I pretty much went live right after she spoke on it.
Wow.
Yes, she spoke on it. It's been a lot of back and forth between Kandi and Latocha Scott. They've been responding to each other publicly ever since the episodes of the reality show have been airing, okay? And you know how this goes. The season airs, and then stuff get opened up, and then everybody is on the internet responding to everybody's confessionals and shit.
So I just, honestly, like, I gotta be real. Like, I hate this for them, though. Like, I really, really, really hate this for them. It ruins really their whole legacy.
Okay,
It really does,
hold
because
on.
it's
Don't get hold on. Don't get too in the thick of it, because I want you to hear everything before you capitalize. But what I do want to hear you on right now, because you know how this goes. So in you hearing how they going at it publicly, does this make you have any regrets about your own reality show and the way a lot of y'all responded to the things that were coming out with the show? Because, you know, a lot of y'all ran to the internet and did the same shit and spoke on it.
No.
I figured you would say
that. Absolutely not. And then here's the thing. Because you just said you don't want me to go too deep, but just briefly, these are grown women who have lived this already, and they took it for granted. Not all in that group, but some of the difficult ones in that group knows how it feels to be broke and to be without and to watch other people be successful. So for you to get back into the situation and then take it for granted again and not just accept what is there for you and do it the best way that you can is a disservice to yourself. And that's what breaks the legacy. And that's what, you know, really aligns you with your character. My situation was very much, we all just met in a group in a room, and we was put together not to sing, not to write a song, not to produce anything but a whole bunch of mess. And we succeeded.
Hey, fucking man, y'all did just that, Corday. Well, let me ask you this question. So what you was just saying, you know, back in the golden days, when a witch betrayed her coven, they would burn that bitch at the stake. Do you think that should be the fate of Latocha? Because she's the only one fucking up the legacy of the rest of the three amigos.
No, here's the thing. One person can't ruin the legacy of a whole group. It takes the person in the lead to be stronger than the group and lead them away from the toxicity and the trash that you get with it. I.e. Beyonce, Kelly Rowland, Michelle Williams, Farrah Franklin, LaToya Luckett, Latavia Robinson. That got stopped and it never came back. Not a reality show. Not a reality show. Not a reality show until there was a reality show, and she wasn't even allowed to sing on it.
And
So, no. So
okay, all right. Hold it there, King R&B. So, Kandi said Latocha need to stop them 1993 R&B runs. They outdated.
Okay.
That she need to stop hating on her vocals because they make up 90% of the hits that are Latocha's claim to motherfucking fame, and that she better only hope that her vocals, since she can sing so extraordinary, can land her ass at the #1 spot on the gospel charts, because that's something that Kandi already done. Came, saw, did, and conquered. Now, she also said that she should have flagged that bitch's video in her damn speak, because her damn speak on it clips was in Latocha's clapback video, and I was screaming, because if Kandi would have submitted that shit, that copywritten shit to motherfucking Google or whoever, and Latocha shit would have came down, baby, that would have been epically petty as hell. Now, Kandi also said that she ain't said half the shit out loud that Latocha and her trifling ashy ass ninja has done to her or the group yet. Okay, so wow. Latocha seems to have a wild hair up her ass for Kandi. Kandi like, girl, I ain't even spoke on it just yet. Okay, so you might want to hold your horses. Okay. Now she also spoke about the situation that Latocha had brought up in her response video about Kandi crying over Latocha singing lead and Kandi being outside of the So Def studio with Jermaine Dupri crying and shit, and Latocha interpreted that whole moment as having to do with her being jealous or upset that Latocha was leading on that particular song. But that wasn't actually the case, Corday. What Kandi said had happened was that, because she had said this before, that by the time the third Xscape album happened, Latocha and her team were actually setting up the Xscape third album to help set up Latocha's solo album. And when she got to the studio to lay her vocals on what was supposed to be a Xscape track, she found out that it was actually a Latocha. It was actually a Latocha track. Latocha had already laid down the background vocals. She was lead on the song, and the producer only wanted Kandi to come in to put her vocals on the backing tracks to make it sound like an Xscape record when it was really a Latocha record. And Tiny had not came in to do her part. Tamika had not came in to do her part. That was some backdoor shady ass shit for Tasha to be trying to use the Xscape album to set herself up for a solo project. And that's what she was upset about. She didn't give a damn about Latocha singing lead. It was about the shystiness and the manipulation and the selfishness and narcissism of it all for Kandi. Do you have any thoughts about that?
I hate that you are not on the camera. This annoys me.
Don't be annoyed, okay? I'm gonna be dragging your ass back here plenty of days. Trust me.
No. So here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Kandi was jealous, and here's the thing. I think she was jealous. And I think that we all as humans, when we are in a role, we're playing a part and we're doing a great job and it's creating success. Anybody comes to step on our toes and it's time to compete, there has to be a level of jealousy to, overcome. Like it's natural. So I do think there was a sense of jealousy, and it may have added to the emotions of not only she's trying to take over my group, she's just going to try to take over and do her own thing and use us as a stepping stone. So,
what would Kandi have been jealous of exactly, Corday? Like, jealous of?
At that time, her voice was in style. And here's another thing.
But if that was the case, why was Kandi's voice on 90% of Xscape's music in the hit?
I think
she was really the lead singer in Xscape.
But listen, you gotta also understand, like, stylistically and image-wise, how things.
And the group already said that everybody already knew that Latocha was going to try to go solo. Everybody was on board with that and supportive of that, including Kandi. They just didn't know that the bitch was trying to use the third album.
I don't think that it's the fact that she was going to go solo. I think that she had to do what she needed to do to make sure that if she goes solo, she'll have that range and success. So she got to do everything to make sure that group is amazing before she goes. That's just, I mean, it's sad and it sounds mean and evil, but I think when you're
it's dishonest, Corday. That was very.
Well, I mean, now if she did not tell them that she was going
she didn't. Nobody knew.
Okay, see, that's dishonest. But that I don't even think that's really the issue. I think the issue is that she left the group, like, plain simple and clear. She stepped on someone's toes which annoyed that person. And then it's kind of like, I've been in these situations before. Somebody stepped on my toes to get into a position that I was going for. Then they got the position and then quit. So it makes the
I got a feeling that you was the Latocha in the situation, Corday.
No, it wasn't that serious of a situation. This was just like work life before.
But even though that could be the reality, it doesn't seem that was the case when it came to them, though.
Okay.
Because Kandi went on to get her solo deal. So, I mean, once again, everybody was kind of doing their own thing at that. Everybody was about to go kind of jump out the nest at that point.
I'm not saying that none of this was right or anything. All I'm saying is I think that there was a little bit of jealousy there to fuel the fire, you know, like there was some jealousy there.
I don't think it. I think it was some betrayal there.
I think the jealousy, you gotta understand. I
gotta understand that if I'm in a motherfucking group with a bitch and this is supposed to be split three motherfucking ways, and I pull up, bitch, and you done ate the whole plate, and you
not the anger.
And you just want my motherfucking ass to placate to background vocals so that you can pretend that this is a situation that all my bitches supposed to be in.
Not the anger. No. I think that we should just pull.
That was some shysty ass shit, Corday.
Listen, I think that we should put aside the anger of
we should put aside the integrity that we expect from people that we work with and know professionally.
Okay, yes, altogether.
We gotta put integrity aside. We gotta put humanity aside.
Yes.
What? Oh, okay.
Yes. Let's put the betrayal aside for a second, just for a second. Then breathe. Now, with the betrayal put aside, it's something that we can put aside. Like, we can put that aside. You can always put betrayal aside. People forget people all the time. But that jealousy is what brings the rage into it. And the rage is what brings all the other shit into it. The bad-mouthing each other, the going back and forth with each other. Like, all of that is really what goes there. Because out of all of the times that they went back and forth, how many of those times were times that they were just like, this is why we're in this situation? Because she did X, Y, and Z, and we were left out on the... No. That's usually not the case. They get into it if they really, really get into it, but most times they're just taking jabs at each other all the time.
No, this group has had a lot of confrontation. It's led to even fist fighting. Like, them hoes don't put feet and elbows on each other.
Well, you know, maybe they just don't get along, and they just need to call it quits, man.
I mean, it's not really a they, though. It's a Latocha versus they. Latocha keep trying to escape. And she keeps trying to do it in what appears to be to the group in very deceptive, backhanded, shysty, shady, corrupted ass ways. Because nobody has a problem with Latocha wanting to do her own thizzle. But she uses the group in the interim of really trying to do her own shit while presenting a narrative that this is really what she want to do, but every time they give her the benefit of the doubt and believe her, she pulls the same solo ass stunts every time. She pulled the same, and she did it now on the reality show. She did it now. She literally had a whole scene, Corday, where she's talking to a potential. Hold on, look at that. She's talking to a potential label, okay, about them signing her over, and the CEO. The head ninja in charge asks her, does Xscape know about this conversation or about this idea? And you know what the hell Miss Latocha Beyonce said? Do you know what Latoxic Nose said? Latoxic Nose said, hell no, they don't. And she didn't have any plans of telling them about any of her damn plans until after the ink had dried up on the paper. I think Corday done went out because, it's raining and storming, girl, in Atlanta. Can you hear us, Corday? He got some connection issues, y'all. Okay? Let me read some of these comments and give him a minute to come back in here. Oop, the toxic nose. Good one, period. But Tasha the only one bad mouth. Okay, you're back, Corday?
I'm sorry, a call came through. I'm sorry.
Okay, there you go. All right. So she had a whole meeting, and the CEO asked her, "Do your group know about this?" No, and I ain't gonna tell them until the ink dry.
Listen, y'all, come on. What is this? 1995. This is 2023. This is the era of getting to the bag. Like, literally, that's where we're at. Everybody's doing side deals. Everybody has multiple things going on. Kandi has a fucking fuck ton of shit that she's doing. Let that girl go do her solo thing if she wants to do it. They want
her to. They just don't know why she's busy popping in their face.
They're not making no new songs.
She wants them to.
They're not making no
They
new
want
songs.
her to, Corey. That's not the problem.
Do the tour. Well, if they want her to, then they need to stop making it a big deal. I'm telling you, it's fester energy. It's anger. It's anger. It's anger. I've been around these people. Like, I literally been around these people. When they don't care, they really just don't care. And it's also...
Now, I will agree with that. At this point, with the long history here, I would not have any interest in dragging Latocha back in. If we were able to do it as a trio, then we would have stayed doing it as a trio. I wouldn't have worried about a flip-flopping, shiesty, in and out, unpredictable, unreliable, attitude-y, problematic person, bringing them into the equation if we really can't just ultimately move forward together.
Yes.
I agree. Okay, hold on. Okay, so put a pin in that because we got a lot of notes to get through, okay? Because I want to continue to paint the picture here, okay? So this whole...
That was the point I was making.
Okay.
I needed you to say that. That was really the point I was making. It's like y'all rode this bus before. Like, y'all sang this song before. Like, it's 2023. That was back in 93. Like, stop acting like y'all don't know what's going on and why it's going on this way. Like, come on. Let's be honest. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying there has to be a sense of, like, accountability. Like, we knew this was going to happen. Kandi, the first thing Kandi said was, I knew she was... Come on. Is that not Kandi? That was Kandi.
Yeah, it's Kandi. That's Kandi.
You get what I'm saying? Like, it's not a surprise. It's not a surprise. To make a thing over it is really that's where that jealousy like factor comes in. And honestly, I'm not saying that like she has a reason to be jealous. I don't think she has a reason in the world to be jealous of Latocha. I definitely prefer Kandi vocally over Latocha. I think Latocha is always flat. I think her runs are just they're too quick and it just causes them to kind of be a little sketchy. And she does get a lot of bad feedback about her voice. She really, really does. I think that
every man is a woman.
I think historically she was amped up to be the good singer because historically and stylistically, what I was trying to say earlier is fat girls could sing down. That was just a Black historical myth. Like, let's just be really, really honest about it. The fat girl was the girl that could sing. Am I wrong? Am I crazy? Or am I not making sense?
I don't know if
that was the thing.
I don't know if fat had anything to do with it, but I do. I'm
gonna be 100.
I understand what you're saying. Like
that was the thing. That was the thing.
I get it's the stereotype.
It's the stereotype. It was the stereotype
of the down south,
very down south,
mother on the microphone voice. But I don't think she was revved up as the better vocalist because of her weight. I think she was revved up as the better vocalist because, like you said, her voice had a better presentation than Kandi's.
I don't think I don't know if that was true back in that day. Kandi
No,
voice
I'm sure that Latocha could sing Kandi Burruss underneath a damn table.
back in that time, I
Even
wouldn't say so.
today.
I think today, yes. I think
Back
today,
then too.
I think today, yes. But I think back in the day, I wouldn't say that. I think that honestly, for me, hearing all of those girls sing, I feel like they could all probably just really sing if they were at their best. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, Kandi was probably at her best because her voice, hadn't dropped yet. She hadn't had the kids
According to
yet.
Latasha and Tamika, it was Candy's pussy that was at its best back then.
Well, yeah, that probably was the truth as well. But here's the thing, and I think that
Every man
sometimes
needs a woman.
I think that we all kind of discount the things that are really, really honest about the industry. And what I mean by that, I mean image. She's gonna be the face of the group. Nobody wants to see a Latasha on a CD cover back in that time. That is not what we wanted to see commercially as the industry. When I say we, I mean the industry. Think about it. Like really, really think about where we were at that time. Like
I
that
still think even at that
wasn't
time that Latasha's voice in the 90s was still more standard industry-wise than Candy's. Even though Candy's voice clearly was the style of the day too, because once again, most of the catalog is Kandi leading. So clearly her shit was in style.
Yeah.
But I
think that Latasha
I think on a fair ground, it's clear though that Latasha also clearly has vocals. Like Latasha can fucking sing. And and I think that she does have better control over her voice than Kandi does.
Well, I would disagree. I would disagree with that.
Stronger of a singer.
I would definitely disagree with that.
But like Kandi said, her voice is also distinct, and she's a good singer as well, especially studio wise. So she has a distinct sound, which is great. Okay, and you probably have to actually, now that I think about it, it's probably the fact that Candy's voice is distinct why she led so many of the songs for Xscape, because it's hard to make a distinct voice a background voice. You kind of have to put it in the forefront because it's going to stand out regardless. So it only makes sense for it to be front and center, even if you have other talented vocalists in the group. But if you have a person in the group who has a notable, distinct texture to their voice, like when you hear that person, you know it's them. Like, oh, that's Kandi, bitch. You can't really hide. You can't really tuck that to the back, that far back. You gotta kind of arrange everything else kind of around that voice.
No,
for blending purposes.
No.
And Kandi touched on it tonight in her speak on it.
No, I mean that's not really how it works. A blend is gonna be a blend regardless.
If Latocha was that dope of a voice, why was Candy's vocals then once again in most of the leads?
No,
it was really Kandi and the girls.
I agree that Kandi was a great lead singer. My opinion on it is when they first came out, where the music era was, Kandi had the more relevant vocal style for that era. I think towards the end of Xscape, when we started getting the Destiny's Child, we started getting the you got out of the you know what I'm saying? Like you got out of the In Vogue, SWV. You kind of got out of that era and went into the later 90s with not the late 90s, but like the later 90s. Destiny's Child's first and second CD and who else was out? You got those people. You kind of was moving out of the
TLC, 3LW. You talking about all those girls?
3LW. You was moving out of the whole, just the total vocal and all of that shit. You was getting out of that. And I think Latasha's voice worked for that new era. I really do. With the songs that they were creating. Who Can I Run To? It was a dark song. It was a deep song. A great vocal for Latasha. Kandi has a very, sharp voice. And it's very dramatic. It's very mezzo. Like you're going to. She can't lead a song like that. So, I think that with their group particularly, I think that it was a matter of they lasted through two different eras of music.
Okay, put a pin in it. We're gonna revisit that, and we're gonna drop this link. So you better be ready when we drop this link, baby, because the people are very much so very opinionated. Okay, so let's get back to Kandi speak on it. We will revisit this when we drop the link. Okay, now Kandi also said that while Latocha is around here, dragging, like she set them up currently with like this crazy shiesty promoter or whatever, and she said that there's going to be something that's going to come out, I guess, in the season regarding this current promoter that's connected to the group, and the reason why Latocha doesn't like the promoter is going to gag us as an audience. So that's going to be coming. But she also said that while Latocha was talking shit, that Kandi is the one who set up the promoters that have been in place that have currently made the group millions of dollars. That it's her contacts, it's her people that made them all that money. It wasn't Latocha's husband, because Latocha made a comment that the girls wanted Rocky to manage them, and Kandi also said that is a total damn lie. She don't want Rocky as nowhere in sight to a check, a banking account, a cashier's check, a cash app, not a damn thing. And she said her people been making them good big Bitcoin over the past few years, including the reason why they initially even got a reality show deal. All that's Kandi doing. Why they frontlining is all that Kandi's doing. Now, she also went on to say that Latocha needs to stick to the goddamn receipts. She needs to stick to the facts of her life. And that's that. Now, before we cross over into this Tamar situation, I want to ask you super quick, Corday. There was contention between SWV and Xscape over this whole headliner situation. Okay, who gonna headline? Who opening for who? Who name coming before who? And the girls, it got kind of deep. What do you think should have happened between SWV, who sold over 100 million copies worldwide of their music, etc., but Xscape also being kind of like, they kind of have current currency, unlike SWV. And yeah, they also are a titan in the situation. Who should have headlined? Who should have opened for who? Whose name should have been featured first on the roster?
Okay, so in my personal opinion, they shouldn't go on tour together. Just cut the whole damn tour. So if
they did that, it ain't no tour happening.
Okay, yeah, no, like.
But in a hypothetical that there was going to be a tour.
Yeah, based off that first meeting that we saw, like, imagine how many meetings probably happened before that with their management and stuff. So anyway, I would have just been like, yeah, no, it's not gonna work. I think the best thing that they should have did was their co-headline. Like the guy said, they just should have did co-headline.
And what does that look like? What does the co-headline look like?
It has to be down the middle. It has to be down the middle.
But what does that statement reads? Is it SWV and Xscape and SWV? Is that an example of a co-headline?
Yeah. Now, okay. I think what Kandi was saying is, and they tried to kind of like make it seem so small, but Kandi's a business mind. So as a business person, something as small as, she said something smart back, one of the girls. She was like, so what you say, you want the letters to be bigger, Xscape to be bigger, and then we have smaller letters? I mean, like, what do you mean? What do you mean? And Kandi was looking kind of like, I mean, yeah, that would be, because, yeah, that's a start. Like, you do got to understand there's going to be marketing for this. This is supposed to be our legendary tour. There's going to be marketing. There's going to be sweaters. There's going to be, sweaters. There's going to be sweatshirts and T-shirts and tickets and billboards. And this is legendary. So hell yeah, I want my name to be Xscape. SWV. You get what I'm saying? So if you're not really thinking about the shit that's that small, you're not trying to make money. You just want to go out here. And I think that was the point Kandi was trying to make. Oh, y'all just want to go out here and do a show for the people. Nah, Kandi's like, I'm trying to make if we're going to do this, we make money. If we're not really trying to make no money, I don't need to like involve myself with this because I don't like half of the bitches in my group anyway. Like, I think that's Kandi's state of mind. Give me a reason. Give me a reason to do this shit.
Do you think that? So, like, but how should they have came to that conclusion? Because if who's headlining, etc., is about money, and we're talking business, everybody want to make money, and really get a bang for their buck at this point. Was it fair for Kandi and Tiny to use their current relevancy as a bargaining tool for their group to?
Yep. As somebody who works in production and works on sets, having to film something is a lot of fucking work, and it's probably 10 times more work than they ever had to do as artists going on tour. I guarantee you. So with that said, they definitely, in my opinion, and be clear, I actually like SWV better as a group. That's hands down. That's one of my more, that's my choice as far as music. But as far as business and like just being fair, Xscape definitely would be the people that you would have to have the bigger letters for. They should get the bigger check. Because Kandi and Tiny has carried their legacy. For R&B girls, for the 90s R&B girls, they've carried it, because really think about that shit. They were on reality TV and gave all of their business out for years, both of them. So
yeah, because it did seem like SWV was more so worried about what the public politics look like. Like, I ain't opening up for no bitch. We sold over 100 million. I ain't opening it. Like, they seem to be more concerned about the optics, while Kandi was like, bitch, fuck that. The bag is what.
But see, here's the thing about that too. Like, you gotta, Kandi could easily say, oh, you sold more records than me, but have you made more money than me from your records? You get what I'm saying? Kandi's still gonna be making more money. Like, you're trying to compare, something like
apples to oranges.
I mean, not even, yeah. Like, it makes absolutely no sense. That's crazy. That's crazy. No. We all done what our fair share.
So finally, Corday gives Kandi a 1 on the scoreboard, okay? Because so far he been Miss Latocha, okay? So, okay, Kandi get 1 on the scoreboard finally.
No, my thing with the whole thing is, I don't think that Latocha is ever going to be wrong for trying to advance her career, especially in the state of, world that we're in right now. Like, that's just, everybody's going to do that in their own right. What I don't like is her way of just, her the way she carries herself can be a little bit, abrasive. But I do think the girls fuel it. They just fuel it. Like, it's like, okay, well, if she's gonna go do her thing, it's 2023. Just let her go do her shit. Now, like I said, I don't know them, so I don't really want to press an opinion, because I know when I was in a group with a group of guys, I was judged harshly but I don't think people really understood the level of like harassment and disbelief that I was in before I was an asshole to these people. You know what I'm saying? Like, so everybody just has their own story. So I'm not gonna shun anybody. I think Latasha and the group should just make up and do what they need to do.
Okay.
And really just look at it as a
Black. Okay. To Black a cover boy. Well, it's because headlining is about the money. Who headlines, co-headlining is going to determine how the checks are cut, what's getting cut as a check. So that's why the headline status is a big deal. This is why Monique and D.L. Hughley had their whole feud about headliner, because it wasn't just about the optics. It was about that headlining dynamic sets up the tone.
And I don't think
the point is coming down the pipeline.
And I don't think people also understand as artists, just that one headline could mean that now in everything, that every industry thing that happens, they come first now. You get what I'm saying? So let's say the Grammy does a lifetime achievement situation because Xscape headlined that one tour. They might feel like, oh, we gotta make sure Xscape gets it before SWV. Like they'll start ordering things like that because that it's just smart marketing. They set it up like that themselves. So why would we, pick one over the other? So it goes deeper than that, like for the artists themselves.
Okay. Now moving in. Okay. Now, I don't know if you know, do you know that Kandi and Tamar had a situation that recently got drudged up?
Conflict of interest. I'm working a show that she's on, so I can't talk about it.
Oh, who's on?
Tamar.
Oh, my nigga.
I'm sorry.
Oh, my nigga. Okay.
I can't.
All right. Okay, so for the viewers, you guys know that there was a situation that popped off where allegedly Kandi and Todd had a run-in with Tamar at an event. Okay, nobody knew about it at the time except for this infamous post that Tamar had put up on her Insta story, where she said that basically a couple from the Real Housewives of Atlanta pulled up on her very aggressively and ghetto-like, and she was shook to her core. Okay, now there was mistaken identity initially because she gave a clue that it was a peach holder. Okay, so we knew it was Real Housewives of Atlanta, and she said that the husband was a politician or something to that extent. So everybody initially thought it was Eva from America's Next Top Model and Commits the Dragon. Eva recently took to TMZ and told TMZ that Tamar had hit her up personally because shit got crazy after Tamar had put up that Insta story, because everybody started going in on Eva. So I guess Tamar reached out to Eva to apologize. Eva said that she does not think that Tamar handled the whole situation correctly. It was messy as hell, and that Kandi is her bitch. Okay, so nobody knew who Tamar was talking about at the time. Well, recently Tamar was asked by a fan who exactly was she talking about. They went through a chronological order, came upon Kandi and Todd. Tamar spilled the beans. Okay. Then after she said what she said, she was also asked about a situation that Kandi had going on with Carlos King. And, she answered how she answered. And then she kind of went over to Instagram once again and kind of expounded and added a bit more spice to her ice by saying that she doesn't believe that Carlos King is a type of a person, pow, 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 and pretty much sided with Carlos King. Okay? Well, Kandi finally had time to speak on it, okay, regarding Tamar's claims that Kandi was mad at her over siding with Carlos King, and claims that Todd had pretty much rolled up on her like a fucking man in an aggressive way, and she felt like he was damn near trying to get physical with her during this verbal altercation between her and Kandi. Okay, and she also said that Todd said something to the extent of, you know what it is, Tamar. Well, Kandi brought her husband on, to speak on it, and this is what Kandi said, okay? She said, okay, because, so she said, hold on, let me find my notes. Okay, so Kandi spoke on the Tamar situation and said that she did not have time to really speak on it because she was working, okay? Something that these bitches probably need to get qualified in while they busy drudging up old-ass drama to stay relevant, okay? But she did see Tamar's version of the situation. Now, Kandi said her issue was not Tamar's opinion on the Dish Nation interview situation. It was Tamar going on her Insta story and doubling down on a situation that didn't even involve her to begin with and not leaving it at Dish Nation where she was asked on the spot at, okay? So Kandi made it clear that she was not upset about whatever Tamar's opinion was. She just didn't know why Tamar had to continue to insert her opinion. You know, it's one thing if Tamar had to answer something because she was asked on the spot, and if she had an opinion, fine. But when she carried it on outside of being asked that question, that's when it felt like it was personal. And she was like, okay, why? Like, you seem to be actually invested and seem to be like invested in really siding with somebody in a situation that you ain't even privy to, you don't even know all the details to, and I can give you a pass for being asked about something that you was in a position to have to answer, but then to just go on in your own independent spaces where you're not being asked to about your opinion, where you're not being asked what the fuck you think, and you just, in and of your own spirit, continue to issue your opinion about the situation. That's what Kandi said she didn't like. Okay, now she said it was actually Tamar who also initiated the conversation because Kandi said she was basically being dry when she saw Tamar. And Tamar was the one who wanted to know why Kandi wasn't being like all extra and googie gaga and all in her face and being all chummy and friendly. And that is what opened up the discussion into Candy's personal issue with Tamar. She was prepared to just speak to Tamar and keep it fucking moving. Hi and bye, bitch. Okay, but it was Tamar who couldn't leave it at hi and bye. It was Tamar who couldn't leave it at, you know, just being cordial. She wanted to know, oh, what's the issue? What's the issue? You being all dry. You know, she was being Marlo Hampton. Okay, just doing the most. Okay, so and that made sense to me because that gives me Tamar's personality completely. Now, after Kandi started getting in Tamar's ass with the facts, Kandi said that Tamar started trying to pussy pop out of the discussion, talking about this ain't Real Housewives and she don't fight, she don't get paid to fight with her and blah, blah, blah. But Tamar only made that comment, according to Kandi, not because anybody was actually being physically aggressive with her. She was just deflecting by acting like it was more smoke in the room than what it really was in that moment. But, okay, big but after that moment, Tamar kept playing in Candy's face. And that's when Kandi said she did start to get a bit more invested in the discussion. And that's when Todd stepped in and was telling Kandi, don't even be pressed. You know what it is. Okay? And you know what it is? I translate it as, you know this heifer is a fucking clown. Don't even let her bait and switch you like this. But Tamar allegedly, once again, lied and exaggerated the situation, trying to vilify Kandi and Todd to get ahead of the story because she probably thought Kandi was going to speak on it, okay, even though Kandi didn't. So Tamar decided to try to get first dibs on the goddamn narrative, okay? So Kandi said Todd did not. The whole, you know what it is, wasn't even directed at Tamar. That's what Todd was telling her. That you know what
But
it
you
is.
know, that's
Tony
Todd's
entertained
line.
this bullshit.
That's Todd's favorite line too. He loved to say
Okay, hold on, because I'm about to get to Todd as well. Okay, now Todd, spoke on it as well, and Todd said that because Tamar also made the point that her white fiance checked Todd. Okay, and if you let Tamar tell it, you would have thought her fiance pulled up on Todd like them ninjas did in Boys in the Hood with old boy who was running down the alleyway, okay? But Todd said Tamar's dude did approach him, but it was very respectful. It was on some cool, calm, and collected type shit that Tamar's dude approached him with white boy humility. It wasn't no chin checking, no knucking and damn bucking. Only in Tamar's wildest dreams do she wish her white fiance would have got that greasy with another black man, okay? He said that they had a very cordial exchange, etc., and it was what it was. Now, Kandi expounded further on the situation, saying that it wasn't true. Also, that she hadn't seen Tamar in a year, because Tamar has said something like, "Oh, it's been a year since I've seen Kandi." Kandi said that's a goddamn lie, because that same year, Tamar was out on a date, and Kandi had came over and spoke to Tamar, and it was all lovey-dovey, etc. She also said Tamar had already unfollowed her prior to them running into each other, where this little infamous altercation happened, that she had unfollowed her off of social media. And Tamar had also said it publicly, that she had unfollowed 30 motherfuckers. Okay, she was done with a lot of people. And she played the clip in her episode to speak on it. But Tamar acted as though Kandi should have been kissy-facey with her ass when they ran into each other at the event. So why ask somebody you blocked and never even communicated the issue to, but yet expect
wait.
chummy with your ass
You
when
said
y'all
who blocked
finally
who?
run into each other, as if you didn't pull the first public stunt of disconnection.
Wait, who blocked who?
Tamar blocked Kandi.
Okay. Go ahead.
Tamar blocked Kandi ass. All this happened before the whole Todd, her, and Tamar ran into each other and all of this. But yet, Tamar is setting up the narrative as if, we were supposed to be all good by the time we saw each other. Why she being dry? And Kandi like, bitch, you know why I'm being dry. Bitch, you know why I don't fuck with you. Bitch, you done wit. You the one who pulling back, and yet you acting stupid publicly. You don't know what the problem is, even though the problem wasn't even deep enough for me to confront you about. I was willing to keep it at high and by, but you needed to know why we wasn't acting like besties. But you also know that you the one who unfollowed. You the one who did that Insta story shit. You not Insta story shit, but you the one who did the interview and then went and expounded more on the Carlos King shit and all that. So Kandi was just like, girl, Tamar is playing in my face. And look, I'm going to speak on that too. Now, Kandi did not appreciate Tamar stating that Kandi must be in an abusive relationship. Now, I'm just going to give Tamar the benefit of the doubt that she probably said it as a gag, but Kandi was very clear that she would whoop that bitch's ass for stigmatizing her goddamn relationship like that, because she don't play by no domestic violence shit, and Todd don't deserve to be tied to no shit like that. And there's very few things that will bring Kandi to anger, but talking about her goddamn family and being reckless at the mouth will make her, I want to be hers. Okay? That'll make her get in her motherfucking anger bag, bitch. Okay? She also said that SWV ain't all goddamn cookies and creams and rainbows and Skittles, that them hoes done had in-group fighting as well. Them hoes done fought over motherfucking money, over who should get a bigger cut of the money. Them hoes done swanged and banged on each other as well. So stop with using SWV as a measuring rod for how girl groups of all kinds should operate in happiness together. And she also said that the show is heavily edited. It's a lot of shit that is not shown but filmed on the show. And that the producer's attitude is that they only want to show, really stick to the group dynamics and the things that the public is aware of. Because they felt like including a lot of the shit that's not being shown would have confused the audience, because the audience wouldn't have had context for what they were listening to and the context of the conversation. So that's why the show is so heavily edited. So that's the third person. No, that's the fourth person. Tamika said that the show is heavily edited. There's a lot of shit that wasn't shown in her altercation with her mama and Tamika. Tamika and Rocky also said the show is heavily edited. There's a lot of shit that wasn't also shown. And now Kandi also is corroborating that as well. The show is heavily edited. And it's a lot of good shit that's heavily edited as well. Now, maybe the network, after the season wrap, will more than likely produce a lot of that uncensored shit now that they know the audience wants it. Because the audience would know the context. Because the audience is more fucking nosy and knows a lot of the backstory in a goddamn way. So that's probably coming. Now, to you, Corday, what you think about this Tamar and Kandi situation? She made it sound like Todd was about to beat her ass, stomp her out. That her white boyfriend chin checked the fuck out of Todd as a result, and Kandi is saying bullshit, lies, more lies, and more lies. Now, Tamar does have a habit of, she extra as fuck. She ain't that emotionally intelligent. She is very fucking immature. She does have a history of throwing a rock and hiding her goddamn hand. And she is goddamn a petty and a little bit on the narcissistic side, if you ask me. But what you think?
I said I can't comment on this.
You can't comment on Tamar and Kandi shit?
No, because Tamar's on the cast of a show that I'm working on right now.
Oh, and I do not have you in protective custody.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, we got
But what I'll say is, people just sometimes they just get tired of each other. And I just think people sometimes they just get tired of each other. And and sometimes they just will work it out later. Sometimes.
I don't think this is gonna be one of them situations. I don't think Kandi and Tamar are gonna work it out. I think they're just gonna go their separate ways in peace after it's all said and done. And I don't think the Latocha and Xscape drama is going to ever be cleared. I think that shit probably is just done.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, are you prepared to take some callers? You want to invite some people up?
Sure.
Okay, I'm gonna drop the link, you guys. We got 30 minutes, okay? We're not gonna be here all night long. Hit the link and sound off on your thoughts on Kandi Burruss' side of the Tamar drama and what you think about her situation with Latocha, okay? Did Kandi clear it, or do y'all believe Latosha's side that, to Corday's point, Kandi probably got some jealousy. There probably was some jealousy at some point, etc. That Kandi ain't as innocent as some believe her to be. What you thinking, honey? Corday, it says that your device disconnected. Love, you probably have to go out and come back in. It's probably the storm is fucking with you. Hit that link, Corday. Okay. He got disconnected, child. So if you want to sound off, hit the motherfucking link. Hold on. Let me see something. What you did? Hold on. Let's see something. Cause I'm gonna tell you this, y'all. I believe Kandi, baby. I believe Kandi ass. I think that Latocha got a lot of inferiority complexes. I think she has allowed a lot of her personal issues kind of frame her interpretation of things that happen in the group. I understand how Latocha might have felt like, oh, okay, well, Kandi might be behind my solo album project not coming out because she was coming out with some shit around the same time, and she more than likely sabotaged me, especially if in my brain I believe that I've always had an issue with the said, but that doesn't mean that that's the facts. Just because you perceive something away doesn't mean that that's the factuality of the situation. I don't believe that Kandi will have a reason to lie. I don't believe she got no reason to be jealous. She's triple times more successful than Latocha has ever managed to be even at this point in their life. She also has a husband who's not swallowed up in a bunch of goddamn scandal. Latocha will have a lot of reasons. And you know, Kandi also said that she told Tamika from the very jump, I don't think your sister likes me. So it seems like right out of the gate, Latocha has had an issue with Kandi, and Kandi has been blamed for things that she wasn't even around for. There are things that Latocha Corday is blaming Kandi for that, like, she literally has zero connection to. Zero. Like, the group wasn't even together. Like, there's really no correlation, and yet Latocha has continued to narrate Kandi as the villain. And Latocha is the only person with that experience. That hasn't been Tamika, her sister's experience of Kandi. That hasn't been Tiny's experience of Kandi. And what's interesting is that nobody has a problem with Kandi in Xscape, but all of Xscape has a problem with Latocha. So there seems to be one common denominator in this motherfucker, Corday.
I just think that they're just at a very bad place.
They've been at this place. It's been this place the entire time they've been a group.
All right, let's keep it real. They just never gonna get along. Like, this is not their calling. It's not their ministry. They're not gonna get along. They had their run. They did what they came to do. If they want to get back together to do special shows, get back together, do special shows. Stop trying to do these big projects because you want a big check if you're not gonna work together.
So are you saying that you don't think there is anybody who's been necessarily right or wrong, that it's just kind of been one big misunderstanding that the girls haven't been able to recover from?
I think that there's been enough of rights and enough of wrongs from probably enough of people in the group. You get what I'm saying? Like,
okay, so you feel like everybody kind of contributed to
everybody's contributed to the mess. Like, you got to think about it. Like, let's keep it 100%. They've been doing this for how many years?
A long decades now at this point.
And out of all of the years that they've been doing this, going back and forth, trying to get back together, falling out, how many of those times has it actually really fucking worked? So my point is, look, if it don't work, it don't work. Personally, it don't work. If y'all gonna go into the situation,
but it's working with the three of them. It's not working whenever Latocha is a part of the equation.
Look, the thing about it is two things. If that's the case, they have to, like, that's why I keep saying, like, I get that they are where they are with this girl, and and she's probably a big problem for them in the group, right? I understand that, but they keep trying to involve her. They keep going back and forth with her. They keep fueling the fire and getting burned, and then doing it again, or crying about it, or just, keep talking about it, or still even including her in anything. They filmed this when they filmed this, and they did how many, like, appearances together since then? You know what I'm saying? So y'all,
They're all toxic. This is what they like. This is what they want to do because they know at the very least they're going to get a reality show and get a check.
Now, I agree with that. I do have to question the 3 so-called non-problematic people in the group because at this point, like some of the viewers were saying in the chat, you know, every reality show needs a villain. And so bringing Latocha back in clearly is just that. It's a part of creating good reality TV. Because it provides that grit and that.
Well, I mean that to get the show.
Because everybody is saying that without the Latocha drama, the show would have fell flat, which
it wouldn't have been a show.
Not be true.
It wouldn't have been a show. It wouldn't have been a show. Not on Bravo.
Okay, well, hold on. So let's explore this then. I'm thinking, right, if they were going to do, because I think there were elements there, like they could have explored I don't know, is it Coco's? I don't know the name of SWV, but I feel like it's the one who got the gay son who doesn't want to go back to college, and the grandma is like heavily Christian, even though she has a good relationship to her gay grandson. I think they could have went into other areas of the women's life if they wasn't going to exploit the Latocha situation. They more than likely could have, because and Corday, I'm not a component of drama is always necessary to make something good. Because I watch wholesome reality TV all the time.
Right.
That shit to do with, you know, fist fighting and hair throwing and scandals. So
well, see, you also got to understand what they're fighting about. That's why this is just, it's tiresome. They're never really fighting about like the core of the business of what's going on. It's usually the meat of the argument is about who went solo and why they do that and who did this in the group and they got in a fight because of this and she's never really liked me. Like that's what makes these reality shows you know, good TV for Bravo. But you know, there's other reality shows out there that do focus on 100% of the business where it could have been a good show for them. But you know, they gonna fight to the end. It's never gonna work out. It's never gonna work out.
Definitely not. Because baby, if that girl don't love them
okay.
by now,
if
Latocha ain't fucking with the Xscape by now, baby, she will never ever.
Here's
ever,
the only
ever
way I can see it working is if Latocha divorces the guy, and the group welcomes her back with open arms.
But she also got to get over her own bullshit too, because she ain't. It ain't.
Oh no, that always humbles women
because they always had an issue with Latocha even before she was with Rocky.
Well, and here's the thing: I think what people really, really, really fail to realize is Tamika is the best singer in the group. Tamika is by far the best singer in the group.
You got a powerhouse.
How we've never heard
and she was the one who struggled with her voice the most growing up.
She's I'm just judging honestly from her more recent performances, but I can guarantee
she definitely evolved into her voice.
I can guarantee you, even back then, she probably was one of the better singers. But anyway, nevertheless, if you listen to that group perform live now, she's a whirlwind difference of a singer. Like she's a naturally amazing singer. She's never flat. She's never sharp. She is vocally intelligent. She's gonna sound like the record. And now that she's like doing it, you know, her way, she sounds better than the record. So I don't understand why Kandi and Tamika, and what's the girl, Latocha, I don't even understand why they fighting over this, you know, this solo situation or this lead singer situation, and y'all not even the best singers in the group. And I don't know who ain't told them this yet. I don't.
Because it's about the lies behind it. Because clearly they don't take any criticism against their voices, because the reality is they are legends because of their voices. So nobody can tell these girls they can't fucking sing. They know they can sing. They done made history because of their voices. So it's a mute point, but it's because of the lies that are being told. Like if Latocha wouldn't have said Kandi was jealous of her singing lead, that's what led to Kandi saying, bitch, I'm on 90%, I'm leading 90% of the goddamn music for Xscape. And then Latocha clapped back and say, well, I didn't say you didn't lead. I said you had a problem with me singing lead. So that is when Kandi had to speak on it and then say, oh, you talking about that one time I was crying outside the studio that you invited me to, where you were trying to use me to help you set up your solo career by exploiting Xscape, and none of the other members were a part of this record. Yeah, you talking about that situation, bitch? Let's speak on it. So, like, they going back and forth, not because of the quality really of each other's voices. All of that is kind of like superficial banter between them. It's about like they both feel like the claims each other is making is not true. Like Kandi's like, no, bitch, you're lying. That's not how that went. And Latocha's like, no, bitch, you're lying. That's not how that went.
Well, see, and here's the thing. Like, I don't know. I guess being on the probably being on the other side of it, to me, it's just it's juvenile. Like, it's like you can tell when people really don't have a career in what they really want a career in. Does that make sense? Like for Kandi, her most success in her past probably like 10 years has been reality television and the things that she's been able to do based off of
and her songwriting credits have like she got songs that she's wrote that are like in the top like that are number ones,
right? But Kandi as a solo artist, sustaining and all that kind of stuff isn't really a thing. Just the same as Latocha. So they're in a pissing battle with two little dicks. Like it's it's never ending if they're gonna
that's one hell of a way of framing that.
Right. If y'all gonna throw, talent jabs, it's ludicrous.
But that's what Latocha is doing. Kandi only the responder. Kandi is the one who's calling Latocha out for the jab. She's like, bitch, like, why?
Yeah, see, I just think Latocha, she's never going to, I don't think, and
Latocha is suffering from deep insecurity. She felt like, she was.
Oh no, you can tell by the way she looks, by the way she dresses.
A big boned in the industry. She was treated a certain way, and she probably has inferiority complexes when it comes to other women. And sometimes the brightest person in the room, even maybe before that person knows they're the brightest, somebody else can pick up on it before that person picks up on themselves. And I feel like that's kind of what happened between Kandi and Latocha. I feel like for Kandi to say that Latocha from the jump did not like her. Like when she first got into the group, like Latocha was not fucking with Kandi at all. Like she never strove to develop a personal relationship with Kandi. Or the only time they interacted was when they were working. They did not have any outside even when Kandi was actively trying to build that with Latocha. Latocha was the one always running, and nobody refuted that in the group. So we can only assume that is the case. And I think even before Kandi became who she is today, because she's fully self-actualized her potential now. Like we're looking at the aftermath of Kandi awakening fully to her whole potential. She's a great writer. She's had success as a musical artist, as a businesswoman, as a writer. But back then, before she had self-actualized fully, I believe that because the law of attraction always brings us to our experiences, and I believe on some level, even if it was a subconscious one, because Latocha was insecure and felt inferior for whatever reason she felt inferior on some type of a psychic fucking level, she was already recognizing Kandi as a forward talent. Now, she was never going to let Kandi be aware of that. She wasn't going to feed Candi's fucking ego, because now Kandi secretly becomes a competition. Like, okay, this the bitch that I got to look out for. And this the bitch I got to measure myself against. And that's probably why Latocha ended up blaming Kandi for everything that went wrong, even when Kandi had nothing to fuck to do with the shit that went wrong in Latocha's life. And yet Kandi was still made the fucking villain. Because that's who Latocha been competing with this whole fucking time. And Kandi was the only one who didn't know they were in a competition. It's like, cause and I know you've probably been, because I've been in that situation my whole life with motherfuckers competing with me, and I ain't competing at all, bitch. I'm competing with me, not you.
I do feel like that Kandi does live a lifestyle now where she does not compete with people, but I do think that back then she definitely did. I think that we know that about her from her own mouth, that she's very competitive. And that's not just at games on Housewives of Atlanta. That's gonna be effective to like who she is in her personal life and like her personality. I can tell by the way she talks about the situation. There's always gonna be a sense of a subtle jealousy there that fuels her to be invested into this.
Y'all will
It
get me
is.
jealous so bad.
Now listen. I'm not saying that it's
Hold on, wait a minute, Cody. Hold on, because we gotta get
100% of it. I'm just saying maybe like a
Wait a
good
minute now. Wait a minute.
5-10% is
So you
jealousy.
think that Latocha was I mean, Kandi had. Let's go back to the studio situation. You don't think that was a perfectly appropriate reaction from Kandi to be upset that she pretty much caught on to Latocha's scheme when she was asked to come to the studio to lay her vocals down, and none of her other members had been asked to and were not going to be asked to, because this was essentially a Latocha record that was under the guise of an Xscape record with the intent to be a catalyst for her solo career. You don't think that was like, because I would add, like, I'm a very loyal person. That would have been my reaction as well. Like,
well, no, I'm 100% with you on that. I do think there's multiple factors into this. I said, yeah, like the way she went about it was scheming and that kind of thing, and it gives you a reason not to like someone or not to really fuck with them or whatever the case is. I agree with that. Like, that's black and it's white. It's factual. However, again, I do think a lot of the bickering, a lot of the energy that she gives this, a lot of giving her chances to be back in her life in a musical way, that's fueled by jealousy. That's, this time I'm gonna be better than you, so I'm gonna let you back in. You know, that's what that is. We all have that in us. It fuels us. It's adrenaline.
see, I don't feel like Kandi is like, I think that you might have misunderstood the context of her. I'm a competitor, because you could be a competitor when it comes to yourself, but not necessarily be inferior when it comes to other people, because we also have watched Kandi now be on reality TV for almost a decade, and we saw her be very supportive of other women. She put Kandi Burruss on and gave her Billboard hit, Tardy for the Party. And we saw how that bitch tried to goop her in business as well. We saw her support the hell out of Portia Williams on the show, even outside of the Housewives. Like, she was watching Portia on her other shows, donating thousands of dollars to her pro-win competitions, etc., which is why she was so slighted when Portia betrayed her and took Phaedra's side and inserted herself in some shit she ain't had nothing to do with. Like, we've seen, we've seen her be incredibly supportive of other women.
Definitely.
So I don't think that Kandi has, and I don't think she had none of that back then either.
Mm.
I think that if you have sisterhood and you close to these people and you now get brought into a situation and you're pretty much being asked to portray your group, why should Kandi have not been emotional? Like, wow, y'all really doing some backdoor shit. And
I'm
then
sure
y'all
at
thought
some
I was
point
stupid enough or whatever enough to like just be a dumb sheep in this situation. And then you're doing this
Nah.
shit to my other bitches. Like, this shit is fucked up.
Yeah, but you gotta understand
And
that
Kandi has proven to be a very emotional person.
she's
She does
definitely
cry.
she's
She
definitely
definitely.
emotional.
Mhm.
She's definitely emotional, but like I'm not saying that the whole catalyst of her being the way she is or like this whole situation in her. No, I'm not saying that's based off jealousy. I'm saying that there is a 15% feeling of jealousy. You got to understand, as artists, like as myself, even as an artist, we all deal with that. Damn, like that it's just natural, especially like working alongside somebody. I've been saying in a group, so I can't relate to that part. But working alongside somebody, I do think that you always are gonna be like, especially if y'all butting heads, especially if you're butting heads. And she said she ain't liked it from day one. There's some type of jealousy there. Period. My mind's not changing.
On Tamika's side.
No, on Kandi's side.
But Tamika is the one who didn't like Kandi from day one.
There was some type of jealousy there, man.
Okay, all right, Courtney. Okay, all right.
I thought you said Latasha and Kandi fell out.
They did. They have
Okay.
never been on good terms. It's always been tense from the jump. That's what I've been telling you.
That's what I said. Yeah.
Huh?
No, that I was just making sure that we was on the same person. No, that's what I was saying. They've never clicked. They just have never clicked.
Yeah, Latasha and Kandi never clicked. But this is the thing. You can't just isolate Kandi. You got to realize nobody in the group ever clicked with her, including her own damn sister. Everybody got the same experience of Latasha. So we know Kandi is not like, she's not the exception to the rule.
But everybody's
she's only one of 3 girls who got major issues and done been through this fuck shit with Latasha, including her own blood fucking sister. Yeah, I want to ask you about this too. What do you?
But also, everybody's not up for the solo role. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, so what do you?
I mean, not the solo role, but the lead role. Sorry.
Got it. So, in closing, because you probably haven't watched the show, but Latasha and Tamika recently went through a really big situation that led to Tamika confronting Latasha about stealing $30,000 plus in royalty money from her, and her having the proof that those checks were forged with fake signatures, and that money was deposited into Latasha's husband's account. But Latasha and her husband have pled innocent to the claims. And the mama handled the situation at the time that it was happening years ago by telling Tamika that Latasha might have been going through some things and needed the money.
Wait, what? But why would she do that? That is so messed up.
That's what we're saying now. But you've been here. Everybody jealous of Latasha.
No,
yeah.
Okay, see, you tried it. I never said that Latasha was not wrong in her attitude, in the way that she's being. I never said that. I do think that Latasha, she got a little snobby, ways to her, or whatever the case is, and she's probably not handling things in the right way. I never said that she wasn't wrong. But I'm not going to say that I don't think at any point in Kandi Burruss' career that she didn't have a bit of jealousy
of Latasha, and I think that has fueled this constant back and forth that they go through. Because if there was no jealousy at all, I guarantee you there would be, like, what would they be arguing about? Like, why would they always be into it? There's
Okay,
no
so
jealousy there.
fast forward it back to the 30K. What do you think about the 30K situation?
The 30K, that's crazy. That girl, it wouldn't be me. Couldn't be me. Could
So
not be me.
what would you have done if your brother would have deposited $30,000 of money that you were entitled to into their account, and then not ever even acknowledged it, not apologized for it, and actually claim innocence, and you had proof that they did it? You're saying that somebody else would have got whooped, somebody would have went to jail, somebody would have ended up in court.
That's not my style. Me and my brother, like them, that we're very close. Likely I would probably cut them off, and I just wouldn't talk to them ever again.
Okay. Welcome to the platform, QM.
Hey, Conscious. It's Keisha.
Hi.
It's my first time on here.
Oh,
I had to call.
I'm glad to have you here. What are your thoughts about Kandi Speak on it and the mess going on?
Cordy, I love you, but no. I'm sorry. Kandi is not Joe's Tasha. Like, Tasha got some snake stuff about her. I'm about to curse. She got some snake stuff about her. Like, she has talent, but she has no character. And because she's so talented, her character never got developed. She's always been told she's good, she's good, she's good. And she's never had the chance to really look at who she is. And be it because of her weight, be it because of whatever else, she just always been stuck in the fact that she's good at talent. And that, unfortunately, she's in her 40s now and she's not developed yet. That's horrible. Like, I really feel sorry for her. And then she's gonna go into gospel. Like, that to me is even more concerning, because now you're gonna have other people listening to this poison that's in your spirit, and you never dealt with yourself.
Oh, so. Trust me, girl. I wouldn't trust any poison that's put out there in the gospel industry anyway. But
but do we still peddle the same? Do we still keep peddling the same poison in? Like, eventually somebody got to come up with some more substance to themselves.
Yeah, no, I do think that the industry lacks integrity and substance and all of the moralities that the world is deprived of, that we got when we were younger.
Oh, and she's 50. That's even worse. I'm sorry.
Worse. Wow.
Yeah.
That was a word, Q. She got talent but has not developed character. My God, that was the whole sermon.
Oh yeah, that was a good word.
I
love the way you speak. You have a good voice for this.
Thank you. I'm in entertainment as well. My godmom told me, while I was coming into the industry, she told me, she said, talent will get you there, but character will keep you.
Keep you there. That part.
And that's for me has always been like, no matter what goes on around me, I make sure that I'm keeping my integrity in check, because I don't ever want to be to the place where I have to hurt somebody else in order to get to where I want to go.
And what goes on from the background.
That's so powerful. And as someone that, like yourself, that's like in the industry, on BTS, like I'm more so behind the scenes right now, as far as like mainstream industry, I see it so much. And unfortunately, I see it the opposite way. You stepping on somebody, and those people advance, and they do well.
They do well, but how long will it keep them there?
They've been there for a minute.
Yeah, but I think.
But they're not happy. I mean, I'm not.
They're not happy, right?
I'm not saying that they aren't, but I'm not saying that they are happy people and they're amazing at life. That's not what I'm saying.
They're going to be morally bankrupt, and eventually they're going to have to answer to that.
And they more than likely have accumulated a lot of blood on their hands.
Right.
And the fact that the system itself is corrupted, it actually is the reason why a lot of people are able to use corruption to excel.
Right.
in the system, and it's very messed up and janked up. I was going to say too, to Latosha's gospel career. I mean, Latosha going into gospel is like we essentially about to get another damn Kim Burrell. How is one of the most unlikable, non-personable,
that is weird.
Seemingly non-Christian acting people about to go into gospel music.
Yes.
That is weird. That is weird.
Girl, you being accused of $30,000 that your sister said she got receipts on, and you about to do a gospel career?
You know what disturbed me conscious about that? If you go back and you look at that scene when they're sitting at the table talking about her possible contract, the look on her husband's face, like he looked like, you remember the coyote from like, I think Looney Tunes, whenever he got like excited, that's what he looks like to me. He's so snaky. And I feel bad for her because, well, like attracts like, so she got what she deserved. So
I honestly feel like that girl just really, and please just hear me out, y'all. Hear me out. I honestly feel like that girl just want to sing. She just wants to sing, and I just feel like she's done it on a level of stardom that she has to feel like she's heard in order to have some type of like satisfaction in what she does. So I think that, I do think the husband is like the driving power of that toxicity, and he empowers her to be, the way that she is and on a guard all the time. But I bet you she's such a sweet baby.
No. I feel like it's a dynamic duo. I feel like she got with the husband who would agree to her method of navigating, which is by any means necessary.
Right.
It don't matter what we gotta do. If we gotta constantly betray this group, so be it. If we gotta use the group, so be it. Like she just found her perfect match. Like
found her
both
mirror.
have a moral conscience, and we both on the same script and page about getting to the end goal by any means necessary. And Rocky is definitely about that whole life.
Okay, so so here's the thing. And I guess this is why I give her a little bit of chance. Did y'all see R&B Divas?
No, I didn't. I never watched R&B Divas.
Yes, I did.
She was on there. She was sweet. And all of the girls liked her. She didn't have a bad rep on the show.
Yeah, she didn't have the level of history and proximity that Xscape had with her. Like everybody that we don't like right now started off as somebody we started liking.
No, this was after Xscape. This was
No, but I'm talking about in terms of the social dynamics, right? Like it's easy to like somebody when you don't really know who they are.
Right.
Like,
well, yeah.
Them girls on R&B Divas ain't have the same proximity to Tasha that Kandi had, that Tamika had, that Tiny had. They had a whole nother like behind the scenes reality experience of Latosha. All them girls got a representative.
We gonna damn her to hell for her close relationships with them.
No, we're gonna damn her to hell for her lack of character.
Oh,
you allegedly ran off with $30,000 of your sister's. Are we supposed to be putting her on a pedestal?
That part I'm not for. That
are we supposed to put her on a pedestal? She constantly used the group in the interim of trying to do her own thizzle, putting them through a bunch of flip-floppy shit. Is that type of navigating supposed to be put on a pedestal? She literally got her sister out here looking crazy because her mama helped her to allegedly suppress the truth around the stolen money. Like she got bad business practices allegedly. She's a whole frauder allegedly. What would be the redeeming qualities really?
Right.
Like what would we be upholding Latosha for?
We all have to be redeemed from our sins, Kanye.
Okay, yeah, but we have
to want to be. You gotta want to be.
Well, look at what you said. Being redeemed means confessing and taking ownership. If you have somebody who's not owning their sins and not admitting or confessing their sins, how the hell can they be redeemed?
Speak.
And why should we redeem them when they're delusional enough to believe, like, to be so self-righteous when they should have their head on a goddamn swivel?
Grace and support in the midst of redemption is where I'm at with
She's
it.
being supported and telling the damn truth.
Right.
Cordy, I need you to go watch the whole show. I love you. I just need you to go watch it.
I did. Where does this empathy for Latocha come from?
The only episode I haven't seen is if there's an episode out tonight.
So you seen the whole situation with the money. You saw all of that.
Yeah, no, see, like I said, the money thing, that's a no-go. Like that's some creepy fraud shit. I'm just speaking about her relationship as a group member in the group in that whole situation.
But it's not even that. It's not only that. It's her relationship with her sister. It's her relationship with her father. It's really, truthfully, honestly.
Everybody got a problem with Latocha.
Yeah, exactly. But even the relationship with her mother is toxic. But
as hell. Yeah. And her daddy came out and said Latocha flipped out on him that they were all good. They was just celebrating. They were going to funerals together. She was at his last birthday party, and then he woke up and he'd been blocked and he ain't talked to her in 6 months.
And I low-key think the mama forced that. I think the mama forced that. I think the mom made.
And the daddy said the same thing, that he believed that his ex-wife is behind the bullshit. So once again, Corday, Latocha just conveniently, she keeps ending up in the interesting hot seat of it all. And here it is. You like, oh, Grace, and it must be everybody else. How?
Oh, okay. Well, bye, Natasha.
Finally. I love your heart, though. I do. I love the fact that you're able to see the good in people. I admire that, honey. But that's gonna get you in trouble.
And maybe Corday. I'm going to assume that Corday is able to empathize with Latocha because Corday was villainized on his own show, so he also knows the experience of like being betrayed one way and being in situations and being made to look like the villain when in fact it's not that way. Like he's had these type of experiences as well. But the difference between you and Latocha, Corday, is that people were able to make up with you. People were able to go on record and say, yeah, it wasn't really like that. I kind of need to retract that and even apologize to you. But people got the receipts on the fuck shit that they continue to be subjected to when it comes to Latocha. And it's like in real life, not even like only in the context of reality TV, because the only reason why the reality TV shit has been shaky for them is because of the shit they're going through in real life with Latocha.
Dang, that's so bad. Well, everybody, let's just put a good star in the air for Latocha.
Let's put a good hashtag, run Tamika her motherfucking money. Let's hashtag run Tamika her motherfucking money.
So maybe when they do the little, the show, Latocha will give her proceeds to Tamika.
But see, I'm going to tell you why Latocha not going to do that, because Latocha would inadvertently be admitting that what Tamika is accusing her of is true. So she can't do anything redeeming unless she's going to absolutely fully own it. And I don't think, and Latocha already done went on record a billion times saying this is not true. So she ain't going to return that money.
Did?
She's been in radio interviews. She's been on her own platform. Her husband has
let's go to like the truth of it. I remember watching the episode and it just didn't seem like she really denied it.
No, she emphatically was asked by the producer in her confessional, did you and your husband take this money? She says no. The producer says, why would your sister lie?
No, I know. In the confessional, I'm talking about during the argument.
we got to remember the argument is edited heavily.
Okay.
You know, yeah. So we getting
but
a
I feel like
redacted
they would
scene.
have been like, okay, we're putting in there. No, I didn't.
Yeah, because I'm sure that Latocha more than likely had to have said that, especially with cameras rolling. There's no way she didn't say, you know, she didn't do it.
It
But
just didn't seem like she really fought it. It felt okay. So this is why I guess I'm feeling like that, because it just felt like her mom like took over. You know what I'm saying? It didn't seem like Latocha was really fighting for herself in that moment. Felt like her mama was like trying to cover it up. Like, why would you say that? Like,
that scene had went on for hours, so we literally
Mhm.
got a edited scene.
Right, we probably got like 2 minutes.
It's not going to portray the reality of what all transpired and happened.
And in the edit, she did look like she shut down. But I mean, if cameras were in my face and I got accused of something, I probably would have shut down too.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, she never really, it didn't feel like to me that she gave a real like denial in the midst.
I agree. It looked like she was guilty.
Yeah, she did look guilty. and I'm
she more so like
this is
kind
like
of appeared to be in disbelief that it was being brought out.
And it was probably easy for her to be like, no, I didn't do it, like in interviews and stuff. But I'm going to take you for your word when your accuser is telling you in your face. And she just didn't look like she was denying it. So when we were bringing up in conversation, that's why I'm like, well, is this like a big offense? Because she didn't seem like she was denying it. And then this had to have happened some time ago, and they still working together. So
to end Latocha's defense, her mama is at least on the surface corroborating Latocha's innocence. She called Tamika crazy.
That's because I think she got a slice of that pie.
Out of her damn mind. She need to go to therapy. Like,
yeah, because she was probably taking care of her though,
But that's why I was saying in my last live stream, this wouldn't be happening if Tamika would run the facts, if she would run the receipts. Like, show the receipts of you paying the taxes on the money you never received. Show the passports, show whatever proof you have that this money was put in Latocha's husband's account, because then that would put Rocky in a position to have to literally confront the facts, not her narrative, which is easy when it's just my word against your word. But if you present the facts, you put me in a position to have to either shut the fuck up altogether or to have to bring a narrative to the facts. But
Sorry, I think I understand why she's not doing that. I think somebody said it on your last live. We were talking about this too. Like, I'm from the South. I'm from South Carolina. And I grew up in that family too. You protect a family at all costs.
Right.
And it's toxic. Don't get me wrong. It's super toxic. But I think what she's doing is she's still trying to protect her family, even though they're not protecting her. So she still has a level of,
I ain't gonna go all the way.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go all the way. I'm gonna put you out there, but I ain't gonna put you all the way out there because I'm still trying to preserve my family.
How was she doing that? But see, because I could buy that, but if that's what she was actually doing, that 30K conversation would have been left in episode 1 and 2. The fact that Tamika is in real time doing a press tour all around media, continuing to cite those allegations against Latocha, she's maintaining Latocha's guilty.
But you gotta also understand that she's trying to also close a record deal with Motown, and a threat like that could put her in a situation where she don't get her record deal. Well, I mean, they can drop her.
Yeah.
Who? Latocha?
Mm-hmm. If she stole $30,000, because somebody gonna have to pay it.
I better not.
And what most labels would do is, especially, and not most labels, but gospel, the first thing they're gonna try to do is cover that up so she can have a career. Or else this is just and this is my personal opinion about the whole thing. It's just for TV. Do she really got a for real deal? Is it a you exploit? I mean, not exploit. You put Motown back in front of people's faces, and that we're working with artists, and we got connections with Bravo, so other artists will work with us. Like, is it that? Is it just for TV, for promotion, for all parties, or does she really have a real deal? Does she really have like a 2-album, 3-album deal, and they're financing her and doing all this kind of stuff? Because if that's the case, they're gonna have to pay that $30,000.
Well, but like, when you say that they're gonna have to, like, how to about like what means?
Motown would probably have to pay for it. Otherwise, they have an artist that they just signed knowingly stolen $30,000.
But it's only an allegation so far. It's not even a fact of the matter because Tamika hasn't presented any facts. She's only presented an allegation.
Well, I'm just saying if it's true. Motown's gonna have to pay for that. So yeah, Latocha better be
well, would she have to do that if the facts show Rocky is the one who ultimately was the puppet master in getting that check streamed to his account? Would Tamika, would Latocha still be accountable for something that Rocky did, even if Latocha knew about it, but she didn't have a hand in it?
Well, did she? Was she the one to sign that check? I'm just saying.
Okay.
Maybe.
Here's the thing. Here's the deal. If she spent some of the money, she's an accessory to it. So it does. Come on, listen. She spent the.
But more than likely, her husband, if he's a decent person, which we know obviously he's not, but I'm assuming that he would probably, if push came to shove, I'm going to assume he would take responsibility. He probably would keep Latocha out of it. Like, he would take on the brunt of.
He could, but it wouldn't matter because you got to understand this relationship with a label for her is based off the premise that she's going to be on TV so she can sell some records and help other artists on that label sell some records. Like, that is literally probably the layout of her album, her record deal.
Because Tamika's point said, yeah, because that's her husband, 50-50 by law. But you got to understand, if Latocha got money coming in, and then she got a husband who's in the industry, he don't work for R. Kelly, Michael Jackson, he manages, he bodyguards, he does this, that, and the third. They got their money tied up into other things. She still got royalties coming from projects with Xscape, projects outside of Xscape. She can easily hide behind the narrative that I don't know where every, large sum of money comes from. My husband takes care of all of that. I spend the money. I make the money. But I don't really deal with the administration part of the money. If I wake up tomorrow and there's $50,000 in my account, I know I've been working. I know he's been working. So I'm going to assume that whatever money is in my account every day, it's just the checks are clearing from the work that we both doing. She can easily play that role.
Let's be very clear. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's a Erica. What's the girl? Erica from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. It's that situation all over again with her husband and her husband stealing the money from the burn victims. So it's the same situation, basically, but not as drastic. So I don't know.
But see, I know that. Yeah.
No.
I just think okay. So maybe we just need to be clear on the time period you talk about. Are you saying that? Are you applying this I don't know what's being spent situation when she got the $30,000? Are you just saying in general?
Both.
Because my fear is, and my assumption is, she probably wasn't making no money. So there's the Erica Jane situation where there's always money in the household. There's always money there. Like, guaranteed there's money there. That's white money. It's old money. It's their money. Now we got to think about it in the way of black people. This is black money. We're only talking about a measly $30,000. That is something that you're gonna mentally be able to track versus the millions and shit that situation's gonna have. So do I think that she would have known? She definitely would have known, and no court is gonna be like, oh, she didn't know that she had it at $30,000 if her bank account was anything below $30,000.
Well, no, but see, I'm saying what I'm saying about if we're working because I work in the industry behind the scenes on the foreground as well, and we all know that checks don't get cut immediately. So you can do a project as a designer, as a creative director, as a photographer, in whatever context you are working in the business, and you don't necessarily walk away with money immediately. You might not get your check until 3 weeks after that work has been done, or a month after that work has been done, or a week after that work has been done. And that's common in the industry. So if you are if we're looking at them, right, and they both are consistently still working, she's doing little gigs here, she's writing songs, or whatever the case may be, Rocky is tied up in his businesses and doing what he's doing, etc. Maybe they also got shit, in stocks and bonds and etc. So money is coming, and it's just easy to just be focused on working and making money, and then you have somebody you trust to also be handling the technical side of the money. So when you see the money, you may not necessarily question why is there $30,000 in the account? I know my husband works, and then if this was in his account, because apparently this went to his account, so we don't even know what Latosha's understanding or relationship to that money was. We don't know if Rocky just spent the money and Latosha benefited from it. Maybe he bought a new car. Maybe we don't know the way the money
gotta know what
disseminated once it got to him.
I think we really, in order to really for real know and have a really honest opinion about it, we would just have to know what he does to make money and what kind of money he's bringing in. Because the way they made it seem in the conversation, the way I viewed it was his
conversation with
the parents
is where I extrapolated it from, because in his conversation with Tasha K, when she asked him about the $30,000, he was like, "Oh well, the royalty people make mistakes all the time. Sometimes they confuse the sisters, and Latosha, she has checks that basically she's still collecting from songs she did with Trick Daddy and Doug Holiday and blah 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 blah." And so when he said that, that's when I was like, okay, so if Latosha knows she still gets residuals off of music she's did inside and outside of Xscape alone, because we also don't know everything either one of them do. I don't know if Latosha also has businesses outside or if they have their money tied up. I'm just having to make these assumptions in order to give her some type of that word grace you wanted to use, Corday. Okay, I'm trying to figure out, is there a way to make Latosha stupid in this situation rather than an active participant in frauding her own sister by putting her just in a position of a working woman who has a husband who she allows to take care of everything on the back end and all of the technicality, and he also is in the industry. He's worked with Powerhouse. Maybe he's still receiving checks. I don't, he was a bodyguard. Like I said, he worked for R. Kelly at one point. He worked for Michael Jackson at one point. He managed Xscape at one point. He probably manages other fresh artists. I mean, who knows, what it looks like from their end. If I was Latosha and I'm in a household where I know me and my ninja making money and we make good money, we done seen all types of money here. $30,000 ain't shit. We done cash $1 million checks. We done cash millions, it have been millions in our account. So we know we both collectively making money. So if $30,000 have hit, then I don't think that's a far cry for Latosha to like be like, oh, like why would this $30,000 be in our broke ass account if they possibly were still actively working in whatever respected fields they were, or still receiving residual income from things that she had done, things he got going on and has done as well, whatever the case may be. But when the narrative also was that this money went into his account, not hers, not a joint account, but his account, then that also changes the dynamics in terms of how easy it would have been for Rocky as well to hide this money, that Latocha would like hide the context of the money while she still had access to it. Because he could have easily told her that money was from anything he did. He could have easily gave her whatever narrative, or he could have gave her a portion of it without context. And let's be honest, every fucking wife ain't asking their man where you got this $10,000 you giving me.
Yeah, but we all know
$10,000 you giving me to get a Gucci bag with, like.
Yeah, but we all know, like, when, okay, so being that, like, being in a relationship for, you know, when your dude got a little extra money, especially if he's spending it on you. Like,
that's what I never do. I ain't never asked no man where he giving me the money.
I'm not saying that you ask. That's not what I'm saying. But you know,
if my nigga
has extra money and
I done had niggas give me 10 racks, and I ain't never asked where you got your 10. Where you give me this 10 racks from?
Yeah, but was it your husband?
It's been niggas I'm dating.
Was it your husband that you live in a home
It's been my sugar daddies.
Okay, well that makes sense then, Conscious TV. If it's your sugar daddies, that's a different situation. We're talking.
And guess what? If I ain't asking my sugar daddies no questions, I'm damn sure not asking my husband none either. Because
but see, the thing is, I'm not saying that we're asking.
I'm assuming I married a man that's a reflection of my morals and values. So anybody who's gonna be married, like, why would I'm not gonna be side eyeing my husband out of all people. I'm not gonna be.
I'm not saying you
micromanaging my husband, assuming that there's something illegitimate happening. I'm going to just take it all at face value until I have to.
Here's the thing: if he's doing all of that and managing all these people, why does he need her $30,000? Like, if you're doing all of that and managing country music artists and all these other artists and security guard or whatever else you got going on, why do you need her little $30,000?
See, I agree with you.
No, hold on. I just want to clarify. I'm not saying, I'm only setting that scenario up in the context of of that money entering into Rocky's account and then exploring all the obvious reasons why Latocha may not have even been provided with any information about that money at all. Because we don't know what Latocha's relationship was to the money. All we know, according to what Tamika said, is that money was deposited into his account. From there, we don't know how Rocky.
I think about
because I want us to be logical and practical here. We don't know the way that money was framed. Once it got into Rocky's hand, Rocky may not have even provided Tamika any knowledge that $30K was in the account.
Thank you, Tamara.
He may have had them spend the money that she doesn't even know was forged or fraudulently obtained over a course of time. They could have spent $30K over the course of 3 months.
Conscious. Listen. Even in the comments, they're saying it, and this is the point of view I was coming from, and it kind of ties into what Q just said. My state of mind from that whole conversation, that argument, the withdrawal that Latocha had, was Tamika said they were broke. And the way that the mom was defending and deflecting in some of the comments that she was saying, it came off like they were broke. Like they didn't have no money coming in.
Okay, once again, that still does not denote what I just said. That still does not speak to the way that money was represented to Latasha, which is why I just gave the example I did about how if they're broke, right, then Rocky would have known that it would have looked real crazy if he just pulled up on Latasha with $30,000 fucking dollars without a real good explanation. So maybe he didn't provide any. Maybe he had that money in that account and spent it with her over a slow amount of time so that it didn't show up on her radar as something crazy. Like, Rocky is a liar, right? He's the same man being accused of having multiple hoes and affairs. So we know he's a liar. We know he's a manipulator. We know that he thinks he's the Don Juan of manipulation and deception, right?
And you think a liar
So then I have to hold on. So then, because look, I'm not team nobody in the situation, but I'm just gonna be fair. Like, I'm just gonna be fair and entertaining every aspect of it from everybody's perspective. So he's already in the business of deceiving his wife. He's already in the business of keeping and withholding information and reality from her. So he would definitely be skilled in trying to withhold or misrepresent any other reality, even outside of infidelity, like money. And if Latasha is innocent, and I do believe there is a way for her to be innocent, which is to just be ignorant. She was just ignorant because whatever way Rocky, whatever he did with that money, however he represented that money, however he spent it, however, he presented it, was obviously under a false narrative. And we don't have any information, once again, about what Latasha's relationship to the money is, other than it went into her husband's account. But that don't tell us nothing about what Rocky did and how the discussion was had, or if there was a discussion at all, or if Latasha even seen any of the fucking money, which is why she's like, this gotta be a lie, bitch, because we was broke as hell. So I know damn well my husband didn't have $30,000 because we was living with our mama. We was living with my mama. Like, so we don't even know, like, what her proximity was other than her husband's account.
I wish my sister would. I would mop the floor with her. If it was her husband, she had nothing to do with it. If she had knowledge of it, I would mop the floor with my sister. It would be over. We'd be fighting for days every time I see her. But she should press charges. Definitely.
And I wanted to, because Andrea had just said, she told, okay, and that's another thing. Did you show your sister the receipts? Because that don't seem to have had happened. You can't just tell somebody no shit like that. Can't nobody in my life just call me and say, just like make a claim like that about nobody. Like, if my sister called me and say, our brother stole $30,000, I hear you. Where the receipts? Like, I'm not going to be invested in a fucking narrative, especially when you're in a position to prove something to me, and I'm not about to insert myself or become invested in an allegation that is ultimately baseless. Like, if you're not going to run me the receipts, then what you want me to do? So if Tamika confronted Latasha, but confronted her with a narrative, but did not provide her with any of the actual receipts, then I don't blame Latasha per se for ultimately just leaving it where it was, because the burden is on Tamika to make it real. Like, we under this impression that when people are accused of shit, that is on the accuser to prove they're innocent. It's not. It's on the person accused to prove their innocence. No, it's on the part of the accuser. The accuser is the one burdened with proving their case beyond a reasonable doubt. So, in all that I've heard from Tamika, I still haven't heard Tamika say, when I confronted Latasha, I confronted her with the receipts. Now, what she said in the scene was, I got proof. I got proof don't mean I showed you proof. I got proof don't mean I presented proof. I'm once again making a claim. That says nothing about what Latasha has shown and not been shown. Her getting up in the living room. I got that proof. And the way she said it as if that proof had never been presented. Her allegation was presented, but the proof had never been presented. And the proof still ain't being damn presented. It still ain't being presented. So what the fuck Tamika want? Once again, what she want us to do? Your mama called you crazy and sided with your sister. Your sister and her husband said they're innocent, and you sitting on proof that you ain't showed to nobody. So what's tea? You let your mama come back on the 3rd episode, fix her some goddamn sloppy ass macaroni and cheese, and kiss her motherfucking ass to make matters even fucking worse. So what she want us to do?
Yeah.
You keep making it our business by putting it in a goddamn reality show series, then going on a press tour over the past week and a half, continuing to cite these allegations, and you still ain't run the DJ, or the public that beautiful being footage and that said proof. I do not understand wanting to sustain the allegation but withhold the motherfucking receipts, because I'm sure you're still pissing your mother off by continuing to keep this wound open or this allegation fresh and aroused, because you're currently maintaining those allegations against your sister. And this all is a product of the way of her presentation. Corday, you might have to go out and come back in. It said that your device had disconnected. So click the link again. So, is it just me, Q?
No, it's not just you. I understand what you're saying. I do. I get it. I just understand. I understand her side too, because I know me and I would want to protect my family too. And even I went and I looked at her Wikipedia page because I was just curious. And she had removed both of her parents' names from her, or somebody. I'll say somebody. I don't know if she did, allegedly. Their names aren't on her Wikipedia page like her parents. So I think she's still protecting them. And it's.
But Q, if you really were trying to protect your family, right, you would have spoke no more of that situation. If it was an accident that it came out and it was an outburst and in the moment situation, and you realized that you did not want anything bad to come of this situation, you didn't want your sister or her husband to be put away or penalized, even though you still felt betrayed by the situation, and you wanted to protect your family, you didn't want to upset your mama, then you would not currently, right, be on the internet and be in interviews and be sitting down with interviewers sustaining those allegations against your sister if you were protecting the family.
But also, too, Conscious, she's been already called a liar. So if she take it back now, people are still going to continue to think that she's.
But that's a part of protecting the family, right?
Yeah.
Because you got to choose. It's either you or the family.
Yeah, I know.
Protecting the family comes at you making a choice. Yes, I'm gonna have to take this L and let these folk call me a liar. And da 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 da. Because what's the point of defending yourself still? Because you're still going to be called a liar if you're not running those receipts, and you're giving your sister and her husband leverage to question the integrity behind your allegation when you are still not providing said receipt, because there's no way for you to really clear this up without providing the proof. And there's no way for the court of public opinion to clear it up without the proof. It's only one person's word for another person's word. Right. As long as the proof is going to be hidden away.
At this point, I think the only thing she could do, I would press charges, and then I would press charges against Rocky if it was me. Yes, it's gonna hurt my sister, but in the end, like he stole them, or at least it went into his account, so we know he's partially responsible at the least. So just press the charges. Just do it.
I hate the position. Tamika has honestly made herself look cuckoo. Like, you showed your ass in that woman's living room, and then on her goddamn curbside, and then you let that woman who called you crazy and said your ass was deranged and needed to be in the goddamn mental ward, you fixed a plate of dinner and kissed her ass and received her, and she didn't have to apologize to you. The conversation around the 30K wasn't revisited. And you left it right there. And to make matters worse, your sister and her husband out here absolutely denying the fact that this was the case and this even happened. And Tamika got she trying to play both sides, and that's where the extra confusion is coming from.
Is that toxic Southern family stuff? I get it. I wholeheartedly get it because I've done it before too. Like, you love your family so much, you know that their behaviors are toxic, but instead of actually confronting it face to face, you try to just smooth it over and not really talk about it. And she just did it. She did it on TV. It sucks. It's horrible, but it's something that she's going to have to eventually come to terms with, because if she doesn't correct it, it's going to continue to go on, and then she's going to pass it down to her children. As much as she tries not to, she's going to pass down those same toxic behaviors right on down. Ask me how.
I need to talk to Tamika ass. I need to get Tamika ass on the line. I got questions. I need more details about the confrontation. I know she said she spoke to her mama and what her mama said, but I need more details about the exchange with Tasha. I need to know, did that happen in person? Or was it over the phone? Did you ever provide Latasha with the actual receipt you said you have? Did you provide her with said passport, forged check, copy of the check? Did you provide her with the bullet point presentation of this money ended up in the account? Like what? I got questions. I need more insight into what she did and how she addressed this and presented this to Latasha. And then I need to understand, because I know she said in the episode that she didn't press the gas legally, right, on her sister and Rocky because she didn't want to lose her mother's love. Mm-hmm. But that's a separate issue. I need to know why, if you have a sister who has a husband who's still hands-on in the sister's business, why you were still willing to go forward into a group experience and do business with that sister who still got that husband when that 30K was completely unresolved. Because not only did you have the right to not pursue any legal action against your sister, but if your sister had participated or stole money from you and then was completely delusional about it by being in denial about it, why the fuck would you ever want to be in a group with her? She still could have been your sister who you could have seen on Thanksgiving and birthdays and Christmases. But go forward in a group, and this big ass elephant is in the room. I just got questions.
It's really her need and her want for her mother's approval that's driving her decisions right now. Like, she's so attached to wanting her mother's approval that she's willing to deny herself whatever it is. And if that means not saying more about the 30,000, even though she's using it to kind of take swipes at them, she's only going to go so far to where it doesn't hurt the relationship, which is weird. It's still, all of it still hurts. But that's her way of swinging back at them.
But that's what I'm saying, Mika. She wouldn't have been exiled from the family though by not going forward in a girl group with Latocha, which Latocha not even
Right.
interested in being a part of any damn way. So why be a part of the movement to bring Latocha back in to a situation that involves business and all of this dynamic, and there's a 30K elephant in the room that she won't even admit or take ownership with. She wouldn't have been X out from the family by not being in Xscape with Latocha. They had already had periods where they weren't a group. They already had periods where there was only the three of them, Kandi Tiny, on tour with Tamika. She did not lose her family. So I don't understand how Tamika felt comfortable being a part of the movement to bring Latocha into the equation, which automatically brings Rocky back into the equation, and a 30K situation had still not been damn resolved, but we're going to beg this woman to be a part of this, and I feel comfortable with this level of proximity to her when she's done me in the worst kind of way possible, and I'm not the only one at stake here. There's two other fucking women who could be completely subjected to my sister and her husband's buffoonery.
Do you think if the $30,000 situation didn't happen, that she would still have her sisters back? Like she probably would have still kind of been fighting with Kandi if that $30,000.
Oh yeah, I think that Latocha and Kandi situation is completely separate for sure. I think that they would have been calling each other eyeballs out regardless of anything. But I'm just not. I don't get it. I don't get it. And I'm gonna be all the way honest, Q. I think not only is Tamika's behavior bizarre at this point, with her knowing what she now knows and being as grown as she is, I think there's something bizarre about Kandi ass and Tiny ass as well. Because you can't do that level of fuck shit to someone that I'm close to, and we all gonna move forward with this situation being resolved. It'll be one thing if it had been resolved. If there had been some ownership, had been some forgiveness, had been some retribution, the situation had been reconciled, etc. We all really want to move forward with a delusional motherfucker who allegedly steals at a heightened level. We ain't talking about you running off of $5 of my damn money. And we talking about y'all systematically frauded me. I'm talking about the deception was like layered and multifaceted. I'm talking about y'all committed to intentionally defrauding a group member. Like forging signatures, creating fake accounts to communicate with the fucking bank or whatever. It is so intentional and diabolical that there's no fucking way we all gonna be talking about letting this bitch back in the group.
To me, what's scary about it is he's doing business. He's doing business with different people. So that is probably just the tip of the iceberg. He's probably done a whole lot worse than that.
They all looking cuckoo to my ass. Because it's like, I don't give a damn if we gonna make $30,000 back. It's a principle issue. You not gonna have no fucking proximity to me. Because it's the delusion of it that scares me even more than the act. Mm-hmm. It's the fact that you won't even admit to doing something that basically everybody knows that you did. Damn near saw you do it based upon the level of proof that's provided. I'm not dealing with no delusional motherfucker. That is like a different type of fucking crazy. I don't have no problem with saints having a sinner's past and people being on their bald-headed hoe shit and reclaiming their integrity and taking ownership and moving forward in their fucking life. But we ain't even talking about a motherfucker who did that.
Right.
We talking about somebody who to this day is saying, I ain't do this. We ain't do this. She's lying. And yet we're begging this person who did that, and according to Kandi tonight, this ain't been the only shit. Apparently, it's been a lot of shit like this that has happened in the existence of the group. Why do we need Latocha again? Why are we even considering letting her back in when her character is this non-existent?
Yeah,
and
right.
we're not only tangling with one snake, baby, it's double the trouble because she got a fucking husband.
Right, because Kandi said tonight.
In the bed, but yet we're begging. We're sitting here trying to get this girl to be a part of a group, and she's delusional enough to believe that she's right when she's absolutely wrong, even when it basically comes down in writing from the Lord. Why do we want proximity? Why do we want business again? Why, and so now what that tells me is that these people, they all prioritize money over anything else, even if it means doing business with a snake ass, deceitful ass motherfucker who takes no fucking accountability and probably more than likely will try to do some fuck shit as well going fucking forward. And I can't believe that money means as much to people. Because it would be two motherfuckers they would have to be begging to get back in that group. That's Latocha and my black ass. It would be Latocha and me. They would have to be begging to get back in this damn group. And unless Latocha had took ownership and did what needed to be done, if everything Kandi said is true, I'm rich without y'all. I eat well without y'all. I live good without y'all. I'm successful without y'all. Then what is my fucking incentive to have a proximity to a thieving, fraudulent, delusional, arrogant, narcissistic, Jezebel ass motherfucker?
You're right, though. Kandi did say tonight it was a lot of other stuff that happened that she hasn't even brought to the forefront yet. So,
as the world turns.
But Conscious, it's been amazing. Thank you for letting me up.
Thank you for being up here, Bull. Continue to hit that link. You know, the story it's still unfolding. So ain't no telling what the hell gonna come out tomorrow, but we'll keep our eyes to it. Thank you for being here, Boo.
Thank you for allowing me. Have a great night.
You too. That was QM, you guys, Conscious crew member. And Corday had took a phone call. Child, this is too much. This is too much, y'all. It's just too much. This is too much. It's too much, girl. These folk not gonna run my damn blood pressure up, girl. They're just not gonna do it. Tiny has also had it with Tasha and her husband, and that's what I'm saying. I don't understand. It's just no way in hell. Like it's just no way in hell. Like there are people I don't fuck with people in my own family who are like delusional like that. Like, you know, I don't pappy it up at all. Like once I see how motherfuckers move, like that's it. So this is nuts. I believe that too, Tarika. It was mishandled from the beginning. Absolutely. Who signs up someone for a check and don't tell personally? Chad. And that's why I said in the last live stream that from the jump this was mishandled. Tiny's mama should not have signed everyone up. Tiny's mother, and it's no fault of her own, because you know she was just operating in goodness and looking out for the girls and trying to, you know, make sure that they all had money in their pockets. So, but what it inadvertently did was it led to all of this. Tiny's mom should have told the girls about it, and then if they wanted to sign up, she could have helped walk them all individually through and through and through. And yeah, just that, you know, just that. Because see, once Rocky got wind of what was going on, he went into that system allegedly and did what he had to do. He made fake accounts. He started communicating with the company, doing all this fuck shit, etc. And Tamika didn't stand a goddamn chance. People always need to be involved in their damn money every step of the way. People need to have a acute understanding of their own about how this shit works, the ins and outs. And even if you have managers, you need to still be managing your shit. Even if you have lawyers, you seem to be reading your shit. Okay? So this is just a sad state of affairs, but Kandi spoke on it. She cleared it, honey. She shut it down. I believe motherfucking Kandi. Side of the story. Miss Tamar, I do not do her. She extra as hell. And I just can't with Tamar, honey. Her own damn mama had to check her ass, okay? Tamar just out of fucking control and is, you know, filled with bald-headed delusion shy. And, yeah, I believe Kandi's side of all of the events. You know, I do. And once again, I do think that money was stolen from Tamika. My question now is I just wonder how much Latocha knew about all of this, and I want to know a lot more about that confrontation between Tamika and Latocha over the money. And I'm curious to know when that money was successfully deposited. How did Rocky frame it, or if they was in on it together? You know, it's just a lot of shit we don't know. So we'll see. But tell me what you guys think. Thumbs up the video, all that good jazz. Subscribe. I'm going to get out of here. This was a great show. Shout out to Corday. Make sure you guys follow him on Instagram, and shout out to Q. And I will see you guys later. Peace.